Hello, and welcome back to Sakuramoyu, and let's get started with today's read-through. The children isolated in the dungeon, as and talented. Among them, there was a person who became their Akibo. That person was truly a hero to the children. Though untalented like the children, over time, despite adult cruelty, they never gave up, weaving a beautiful song. That person left several words along with the song. Feelings should sometimes surpass talent. People yearn for talent. People empathize with those who try to stand up, even if they don't have it. And from this jikoku, they escape with their own uta. For them, that person's existence, their way of life, it was a huge light of hope. And also, an unwavering certain flame of courage. That's right. That was truly the figure of a hero. What that person created was a song, sung for just one person. That song also became a song that was sung for a long time, passed down as a symbol of hope for the untalented children. Even when confined to the dungeon and abandoned by the adults they loved, the children sang their songs earnestly. I drew pictures. I wrote stories. I believed that someday they would surely turn to me. I wanted my loved ones to smile at me. I wanted them to hold me. I prayed that this wish would overcome my powerlessness. But it was no good. Our wishes would never be love. Even so, someday, I held on to the hope that I, too, might overcome the present just like that person. For them, creation was an act of pulling themselves up from the depths of darkness. A song truly is amazing. To think, it can encourage children I don't even know. Children whose faces and names I don't know, without me even realizing it. Surely, the hero doesn't know. That's the song he left behind, is saving the hearts of so many children to this extent. I can somewhat understand why the adults would want to create such things, dedicating their lives to them. I don't have the talent to create such works. That's why I wish to live as if singing my own song. How I think, how I live. Depending on that, I should be able to give courage to someone just like that song, because that translucent person had told me so. For that, what I can do is, I can see that. I can connect Yoru and reality. That is my Noroi. As children weakened and died in the dungeon, one by one departing for the Yoru, it was to deliver their wishes to the people important to them. With the Noroi possessed, I can only do so much. But the adults who received the children's wishes from me, their fathers, their Okasan, Okasan, every one of them were utterly indifferent. They didn't even try to fault me for going in and out of the dungeon. Truly, from the bottom of their hearts, they had no interest in us. Their demeanor seemed to me as if to say, you weren't born as we expected, and it's your responsibility. The adults of this house have no heart, or perhaps their hearts were broken long ago. But it would still be a long time before I learned that this was due to the curse of the children who continued to sleep at the bottom of the night. As a result of the black children hating and cursing the adults, many more children in the same predicament as themselves were born. It would still be a long time before I truly understood the contradiction and unreasonableness. And the reason the adults decided to maintain the Yoru no Kuni was to protect the children from their own corrupted hands after their hearts had broken. Adults insisted on creating beautiful works with their talents to originally fill the children's world with light. But with their broken hearts, they could no longer even remember that. It would still be a long time away before Mashiro taught me about those adults' unbroken feelings. At that time, however, all that remained for me was the unbearable frustration and loneliness. I want to see you. That feeling grew stronger then, carrying the dungeon children's lonely feelings. I truly understood. I wasn't alone. As a baby, I only saw your figure, the half-transparent girl's smile. But now, I think your voice can reach me too, just like how I can clearly hear your voice now. The half-transparent child who was next to me now smiled at my murmur. Oh, Toya's here.
あなたが頑張ろうってしてること、私たちの女王様にもちゃんと届くよ。いっぱい、たくさん褒めてくれるって思うな。
That's why she told me to keep trying and that she supported me a lot too. To convey the feelings of those with lonely thoughts to as many people as possible. Could this life encourage strangers like their song? Could it bring light to someone deep in sorrow? Those were the days of moving back and forth between my room, like heaven, and the dungeon, like hell. One by one, they exhaust themselves and dwindle away. Not only did no hero appear to save them, but not even a Yoru no Kaibutsu would snatch them away appeared. Even so, someday, I prayed with them too, that salvation would come someday, that we would be rewarded someday. Then, one day, I was suddenly spoken to by a certain adult. I want you to kill the Yoru no Jo. That was what I was suddenly asked to do. With the Noroi you were born with, you should be able to do it. Tightly gripping my hand, she said bitterly, "It's a Kenju." The adult woman placed a Kenju in my hand. It's a very interesting looking Kenju, by the way. It doesn't look like a normal gun. Like, there's something about it. I know we've been through a lot of. We already seen this gun so many times, but looking at it, it's only now I just started to comment about it. Anyway, for now, I'm still fine. I can maintain my composure. I understand that what the other adults are doing is abnormal, but if this continues, I'll break down like other adults. I can't escape that daily feeling. I fear becoming completely like them. The woman said it was all because there was a place called Yoru no Kuni. From within the Yoru, a jet black Noroi slowly spills out, eroding our hearts day by day. Someday, I too will do even more terrible things to the children. I'll break down just like the other adults. Before that happens, I want you to kill the Yoru no Jo. And if the Kagi place on the Yoru is undone, I want to infiltrate the Yoru and stop the black will flowing out from it. I'll strangle my loved ones with these hands. I want to avoid that future, only that future. Again and again, that was what I was asked to do. The Yoru no Kuni is also a refuge for children. If it's locked, no children, present or future, can escape into the Yoru, into Yume. That's why I want to rely on my Noroi that connects the Yoru and Genjitsu. Because with that power, I'll be able to enter the closed-off Yoru. That person wants me to somehow bring the Yoru no Jo out of the Yoru. Looking up at the Mangetsu from my room's window, I grumbled to the translucent child as if complaining. Next to me, the translucent child just quietly listened to my complaints and anxieties. That child is in the Yoru of the Sanzen town's Toketo. The closer I get, the easier it will be to enter the Yoru no Kuni. So the woman said she'll leave the mansion unlocked tomorrow night. She told me to sneak out without the adults noticing. This Kenju I was given is apparently one of the works the adults desperately created. It's not real, of course. The ammunition is just solid steel, but it's imbued with all the Sazoriku left in the adults' hearts, meaning it can shoot and kill creatures belonging to the Yoru. I can't bring this Kenju into the Yoru. My Sanyu can't bring a body into a Yume, nor outside world processions. That's why they told me to somehow trick the Yoru no Jo and bring her out of the Yoru. And then after bringing the Jo outside the Yoru, to pull the trigger. No, please pull it. That adult woman tells me. At first I thought the woman still had a kind heart, a broken and forgotten. She even prostrated herself before me, begging, "Please, don't let me hurt these small beloved ones," she cried. Snot run down her face, and she pleaded with little me. I don't want to kill the ones I love. I'm afraid of becoming someone who does, without even realizing it.
そのためにタイがあなたに夜の女王を傷つけさせるの？
No, she even wants me to kill her.
それはね、タイがその大人の人は本当に優しい気持ちが壊れていないの？
Thinking she seemed like a kind person, that her heart might still be unbroken. Yeah, you're right. It was only at first. The Otonano, kind or not, are all the same. They only care about alleviating their own guilt. That's how I felt. At first, I had no intention of dealing with it, but I might be able to find a hero. Maybe the Kodomo suffering in the dungeon can be saved. I was told that that clues to the hero the children the Kodomo at this house are searching for are here in Sanzen Town. That information was given to me by the adult, Otonano, Onna, who seemed kind. It must have been her reward for entrusting me with her wish. The Yoru no Jo'o, whom she wished me to kill, is also in that town. In the Yoru of the Machi. I wonder if that kind woman might actually be... Anyway. I agonize over what to do. I agonize a lot. First, it's the Yoru no Jo'o. No. Of course not. Because she mentioned she ended up leaving her child, which is Taiga, and then she ended up leaping into the future. So it's not Azusa. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to Azusa after their disagreement. Anyway, that's what the adults speak of. That which the translucent ones by my side speak of are probably one and the same. Probably that is that child. The girl who smiled next to me is next to me first. The one who first brought me so much peace of mind. Even now, she's no longer by my side. I ask the kind, semi-transparent people from within the Yoru. They keep me from ever being truly alone. I want to see you. Day by day, second by second, the feeling only grew stronger. To see that person just one more time, back when I was a baby. I can only see their form, only their smile. This time, I think I can feel that person much closer. I have a feeling. Even if I couldn't hold their hand, I should at least be able to talk to them. Thank you for always being by my side. Thank you for caring about me even when you're not by my side. Because I should surely be able to convey at least that much. Just one more time is fine. I want to see that person. The semi-transparent girl who's always beside me suddenly tried to take my hand, but the hand she stretched out just passed right through. The small child looked lonely. How would that child right now try to turn this loneliness into a smile? Only that semi-transparent girl possessed true kindness. That's what I ended up believing. Before I knew it, my desire to see them transformed into a longing to be with them. That feeling too changed into a deep longing. But I'm not an adult enough to clearly unravel its true nature. But, dakedo, I once told her she felt just like Okasan.
そうだね。お母さんか。そう言ってあげたら、あの子は、真っ白な夜の女王は、喜んでくれるはずだよ。心からね。
That's what the little semi-transparent kid who had been right next to me at that moment had told me, but... Okasan, huh? What is that? When I murmured that, a hazy feeling spread deep in my chest. What do I think of that child? What kind of a relationship do I wish to have with them? I remember that person's smile. Then, what is this piercing pain in my chest? I wanted to go confirm this feeling. I wanted to go meet that person right now. And a hero. All this time, I've been searching for a hero to save us. Searching for their whereabouts. Every child born into that house is like that. The I-born talent, Noroi, proves worthless. I'll face the same hell as the other kids. They're just exploring its value now. But no matter how long I waited or prayed, no one extended a helping hand. These clues came from a superhero. The ones I got from the woman who, with that gentle face of hers, asked me to kill the Yoru no Jo'o. But that information was far too shocking for me. Our hero, The Haru no Ota that always gave our hearts Yuki. The longing that created it. To think that my otosan. I didn't even know when this Ota was made. But the Onanako casually told me that it was certainly my otosan who created the Ota we hum. I remember my chest quietly growing warm. I believed that if I appealed the hero, my otosan would surely rush to our aid. Our hero. My otosan just hadn't realized the existence of the suffering children. Then I'll go meet him myself. I like how the irony is that he himself, Tomohito, also went through that hell. But somehow, yeah, he survived. I guess they didn't get to the point where they're putting children in those cages in the dungeon. Yeah. At least at that point in time. I don't know, man. I want to believe that if he witnesses their sorrow, Zetsubo. Oh wait, that's despair. Kanashimi. He will surely be a more reliable ally than anyone else. He weaves beautiful songs of Ota Ai to Yuki no Ota. He'll wholeheartedly save them from the hell's depths in an instant. And I want that person to be saved too. If I do that, will that person be by my side again? I had no basis for it, but such an expectation crossed my mind. So, with a heart full of hope and anxiety, I resolved to escape this mansion.
気をつけて。
The small translucent child said. The cruel adult Otona are probably waiting for the moment I take the Yoru no Jo'o outside the Yoru.
もしあなたが女王様を殺せなかったその時は
Will the Otona who are probably watching from somewhere pull the trigger in my stead? Even if the Jo'o can't be seen, if I just get her out of the Yoru, do the adults have some kind of winning strategy?
私たち夜の生き物の中には外の世界で大人たちに力を貸す人たちもいるの。その人たちは女王様を殺してしまって夜と外をつなぎたいって思ってる。
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Some of the Yoru no Kimono aren't solidified with their stance about the whole thing. Interesting. Just as the adults long for the Yoru, a very small number of Yoru no Ikimono long for the outside.
そんな人たちから隠れるために女王様は時計塔の管理室に閉じこもってる。気をつけて。怖い人も乱暴な人もきっとね、あなたが女王様を見つけるのを待っているから。
Man, Toya just randomly talking like this, not totally telling Mashiro about the plans for her assassination or just something like that. Everyone's after that child's life. I had to protect her. That child, both worlds, and the entire Mirai. And all the hearts of countless children. Everything, Zenbu. I touched that Kenju I was given and prayed. Doka. Onegai. Kami-sama. Akuma. Whomever. Whatever. I don't care. Give me the strength and wisdom to overcome this problem. And lend me plenty of Yuki. It's Ota. My feelings blossom like spring flowers. Haru no hana. A beloved I to Yuki no Ota. So quietly yet surely within me. Just a little further to the Tokito, where we're meeting. Before I knew it, I was humming the Ota, and I was also thinking a little about everything leading up to my arrival in this machi. I was searching for a hero. I was longing for that person's smile. I wanted to know what feelings that person held and why they stayed by my side. Whatever the answer might be, I wanted to quickly become a Otona. For me, I had someone I want to save. I wanted to become someone worthy standing by the person's side. Sumari, to become someone who could protect him. I believe that. Now, instead of the transparent people, I spoke a little to the new partner. She knew partner. Aibo, Otomodachi, and Kazuku, who are by my side. I want to spend this not so short life ahead just talking a lot, laughing a lot, and living with Mashiro. Because I wish to live even even 1 second more of such dream-like time. I want to protect you from the mean Otona. Ah, that's right. The savior I thought didn't exist, but okay, so Kuro's still Koneko here. You know what? Maybe the reason why Kuro became a Bakemono is Bakeneko. Bakeneko? I can't remember the exact term. Bakeneko. You know, special, some sort of special cat is maybe somehow influenced by Mashiro, man. That maybe would explain why she looks, when her human form is very white looking. Instead of being a black cat, she becomes a white Shironeko. And then for some reason she has the same voice as Mashiro. Maybe something like that happened. I don't know, man. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like at this point, Kuro is still like as a normal cat at this point. Anyway, if there's no hero, then I'll just become the ideal hero myself. Everyone is after that child's life. Even after unlocking the Kagita de Yoru, I still felt I couldn't let my guard down. Taking her out into the outside world might be extremely dangerous, but I can't leave Mashiro to continue suffering Night Akumu alone in Yoru any longer. In that case, I just need to become someone who can stay by her side and continue to protect her. Someone transparent once told me that only I myself can save my own story. That's why I'm going to live with Mashiro. I will betray the Otona Tachi. The two of us will run away somewhere together. It's too strange to say myself, but for such a small child to decide that requires a considerable amount of Yuki. I hope this resolve in Yuki become this Uta that only I, an incompetent person born without any talent, can say. That's what I'm wishing for. Once more, I looked up at the Sora. Since coming to this Machi, I feel like I've become a little more of an Otona. I learned that there's no convenient hero to expect when things are tough. The only one here is always myself and only myself. At the same time, I also learned in this town that complete evil doesn't exist. The world isn't as simple as the story told by one person's talent. There are villains, there are heroes, there is the sorrow of those who are protected. It's not made to be that easy to understand. Even in someone's actions or words that seem cruel, an unyielding feeling for that person is hidden. Everyone is just desperate to live their own story. That's why we run, to never fight anyone. If we fight, no matter who wins or loses, so we'll always be sad. So I'll keep running, forever and ever. As long as I can live with Mashiro, anywhere is fine. Yeah, that's right. We can escape to the Yoru, to the world of the distant past. And in the world of the past, I want to meet a hero. My Tosan. It should even be possible to create such a mirai. Mashiro can't belong to the Yoru anymore, but as long as she's with me, someone who can connect the Yoru and reality, it'll be fine. I can still enter the Yoru a little, too. The two of us? Yeah. Let's go to the Kako together, the three of us. The Yoru no created for that very purpose. We have a Ota, a Maho no Ota that took my Okasan to the Kako. I had a feeling Mashiro would surely agree. What kind of face would Mashiro make if I told her this idea? I felt she would be happy, even though I had no basis for it. Sorry for talking your ear off. I know you'd be troubled if I suddenly said something like this. It's just that I wanted you to be a witness of my vow. If I ever lose my weakness in the future and feel like I'm about to forget my courage, I want you to gently push me forward, to remind me of today's vow. I'll protect Mashiro, my beloved, always by my side from adults. Even if the Yoru unlocks, I can't drop my guard. I'll protect her. I wanted this feeling to remind me that my adult self, my future adult self someday, it didn't work out. They say people can live by forgetting, but that's because even important feelings are easily forgotten. Shall we go? Enough with vows and confessions. At the Tokito, our new Atarashi no Tomodachi, our Aibo, our Kazuko is waiting. Now I want to move forward. With the people I care about, I just want to accumulate as many tomorrows as possible. With a prayer that a brilliance beyond imagination awaits us in the future, we walk towards. I hurry forward. The Tokito, where Mashiro is waiting, is just ahead. What? A sharp pain. Did someone shanked it? What the hell? Huh? Hot. Something much hotter than the temperature of courage that welled up in my chest suddenly pierced my stomach. It hurt. Don't tell me. Remember there's like a serial killer guy going around town and he happened to be just there. I don't know, man. Let's see what happened. Or someone maybe, I don't know. Well, let's see what happened. Looks like he's still alive. When I woke up, I was outside the Yoru. Nobody was there. Nobody was here. It was a lonely room. The Tokito's control room. In this room, neither Yoru nor outside made much of a difference. If there was a difference, it was that the phonograph was nowhere to be found, so I couldn't listen to songs anymore. That was the only change. And with that child, the hand that had been connected to Taiga was empty. For a moment, a loneliness greater than I had ever felt before overflowed in my chest. But then I remember, oh, okay, this is Mashiro's perspective.
Taiga.
I immediately remembered the vow that child had given me.
私、あなたとこれからずっと一緒にいられる?
When I whispered it, it was strange. My cheeks naturally relaxed into a smile. Taiga held his hand and made a vow to me. I no longer needed to be alone, to be hated by those I loved, to be despised. I no longer needed to become that kind of me.
あなたが私をここから連れ出してくれる。これから一緒に暮らしていける。
It's far happier than future, where I'm hated by those I love, isn't it? There's no comparison. Until the time when Taiga's life ends, I will never return to Yoru. Taiga cast that kind of noroy on me. By doing so, we can no longer be separated. I do wonder a little if that's truly alright. There will probably be days where we fight over trivial things. As we look, we're still just children. We might become stubborn, unable to back down, perhaps say a little too much, and then later feel a bit of regret. Such things are bound to happen.
いつかタイガも大人になって。
Even so, while it's not like the special Taiga, who connects night and reality, will become unable to see me. He might even feel embarrassed by my gaze, always be by his side.
タイガもいつか年頃になるんだもん。それは仕方ないよね。
From now on, I can imagine a closer relationship than being your mother. Still based, by the way, because I know you wish for that. Is that something desirable for me? Is it something I can honestly be happy about? For now, I'm sorry. I still don't really know. Because of that vague sense of distance, there will surely be times when I feel uneasy.
でも、そういう問題も二人で一つずつ丁寧に乗り越えていけたなら。
Even such a midnight, I'm sure I'll be able to think of as happy. Rather than always being able to smile, I feel more comfortable in a relationship where we can believe we'll make up quickly even if we fight.
タイガ。
I thought, I want to see your face soon. Nah, Taiga, what is this feeling? I want to live a story like a heroine. I said something so embarrassing, but of course, I never once felt love before. That's precisely why I longed for it. I wanted to talk to you about these feelings soon. It's strange, but I feel as if you were also feeling the same wonder as I was right now.
あなたの顔をもう一度見つめられたなら
In that moment, I should be able to instantly understand the true nature of these feelings. I thought so.
タイガ遅いな
Tick tock, tick tock. Only the sound of the second hand advancing could be heard. I slumped flat on the table and strained my ears. I was waiting for the moment the room door would be knocked. That should also be the signal for the end of my Akumu, which I've been endlessly watching in this room. You'll take me away from here. My heart is still so young, full of things I don't understand about affection, or Yuki.
タイガかわいい赤ちゃんだった男の子あなたが私の幸せだそれだけは確かだよ
It is truly one of those stories where you basically raise your own husband. Anyway, by the way, it's a thing that happens in some Japanese literature. I'm talking about actual literature. I'm not talking about some fucking otaku adjacent thing, man. I think there literally is literature about things like this. But like, yeah, they're not many, of course, but like, you know, they do exist. Anyway. Hikaru no Genji, I think it's that. No, I might be wrong. Anyway, never mind. I don't know Japanese literature that much. Or to a good extent. Anyway. Maya Shiawase would knock on the room's door. I waited impatiently for that moment. But, you're late, Usui. Really? You're so late. I stand up. It was a knock. My heart gave a big throb. I found it funny that I could smile so quickly even though I had just been pouting, "You're late," moments ago. I rushed to the door and reached for the knob. Beyond this door awaited a future greater than I had imagined, more than I could hope for. With such anticipation in my heart, I flung the door open.
Taiga!
I called out his name, and then, alright.
私わかったよ
The moment I flung the door open, the moment I pictured your face standing there, like a cloudy sky suddenly clearing, I understood my feelings.
私もねあなたのことが
I understood that I loved you. I wanted to leap at you, even though I couldn't touch you. How is she able to open the door, by the way? Even so, I felt you would hold me tight. But it's not Taiga. All that was there was an unfamiliar little boy, frozen in place, hugging a pitch black kitten. What the hell? What? Wait. Huh? That looked like Taiga, right? And then, huh? What the? Let's continue. The moon in the Yozara will not fall to the earth. It will not kill many of humanity. Instead, its light will corrode and kill people's hearts, turning them pitch black, huh? I muttered that like a sigh. It pours brilliantly from high above, targeting adult hearts, the hatred of children who, long ago, became victims. Hot. My abdomen is hot. I'm crawling in the ground. That's right, I had to go, even if I had to crawl. Mashiro is waiting. It was whispered that the series of random stabbing incidents senselessly harming passerbyers were occurring in this town. I think someone's heart, corroded by the full moon's light, drawing closer, led to unprovoked crimes. Such attacks escalate, and humanity slowly strangles itself, leading to self-destruction. That's the future envisioned by the black-hearted children. Their Suzoruku leaks from the Yoru no Kuni, affecting the real world. This is likely a step towards a future. I've been stabbed, but it wasn't by a random attacker. The other day I delivered the voice of a deceased person who deeply cared for her to a certain woman. The man who was engaged to that woman had been stabbed to death by a random attacker, yet he had remained by the side of the grieving woman the entire time. Unseen by the eye, untouchable, his voice unheard in such a semi-transparent form. I connected the feelings of those two. But for what reason? A few days later, that woman herself was also stabbed to death by the same attacker. There must have been some kind of story between the victim and the perpetrator, one I couldn't get involved in fact, one I had no way of knowing at all. I was merely present at the scene. I sensed death's presence, the semi-transparent, and was drawn. I wonder if a minion of Mashiro's adult targets appeared. I think the one who stabbed me was the mother who was at that scene. She was the mother of a woman who had lost her fiancé and was in death's grief. Wait, what? I was suddenly stabbed from behind. You're the culprit, aren't you? After stabbing me, the woman, likely the mother, said that. Wait, what? Huh? What were we talking about? There must be some kind of story between the... After stabbing the woman, like the Okasan said that. You alone met my eyes at that scene. You stared at me in the crowd. Culprit's returned, so it's you. You're the culprit. It was a horrible frame-up. How could the child like this possibly have the motive to become a random attacker? It's light. The light of the full moon. The person who stabbed me might also had her heart unknowingly eaten away. In that person's story, I was the villain. I was an irredeemable trash, an irredeemable scumbag. Whether I was a child or not didn't matter. They merely sought revenge for their daughter. Their world, seeing things that way, will one day invert. I don't know the moment they realize I wasn't the culprit will arrive. What kind of regret that person will feel then, I don't care. They might try to justify themselves by saying it was my fault for being misleading, or perhaps they won't be able to bear it and take their own life. Those are merely problems prepared for that person's life. How and what they feel about them is completely beyond my concern. I just learned that the stories exist in many forms, as there are hearts walking through life. However, one thing is certain. My life, Kanede Taiga's life, is that story. Ending here. A sharp pain shot through my abdomen. I groan. Mashiro. Gomen. I'll be a little late, but I'll definitely come. The ground where our class is stained crimson with blood. Not yet. The crimson still flows ceaselessly. Let's seize the future together when we can be happy. I'll be fine. I won't die for something like this. Absolutely not. But, doshite? The future we envision together, holding hands in the Yoru, somehow seems to be growing dark, closing off. This is no good. At least one last time. I had to touch Mashiro's hand. I'll use my Noroi on you one more time. In the outside world, I can't touch you, but our hands will overlap. By doing so for the first time, my Noroi on Mashiro will finally be complete. We'll never separate. She'll stay by my side until I die. This Noroi is complete. So, press on. Crawl if you must. My Noroi is still incomplete. At things stay like this, you won't be able to return to the Yoru. You'll end up wandering the outside world forever. I swore I'd save you from your Akumu, from the memories of a life that ended alone, and yet, because of my Noroi, Mashiro, you'll be alone in this world again, forever. I'll live out my life to the fullest, with you always smiling by my side, and when the end came, we'll hold hands and return to the Yoru together. That was the future we dreamed of. But if things stay like this, I'll have to depart for the Yoru all alone. No. I don't want this. I don't. I wanted to be a hero. I didn't care what happened to this world. All I wanted was to save just one lonely, sad girl. This is no good. The world is growing dark and small. After this, I'm sorry. Take care of her. I entrust my wish to my partner, Aibo, who's always by my side, to my friends, to my Kazuku. To you who is so small and whom I swore to protect, to have to entrust something so heavy to you. Tears well up. It's so frustrating and lonely. This is no good. This isn't the life I wanted. I guess I really wasn't cut out to be the cool hero everyone admires. The boy standing where I reached out. I entrusted everything to this child I brought back from the depths of hell. Wait a second. Are you saying... Are you saying there are two taigas? There is the taiga of like... There's the... What? Sorry, just wait a moment. I cut off the conversation again. I got stabbed by a random attacker?
違う。
I hear the faint chime of a bell. I felt the girl shaking her head.
通り魔ではなく、通り魔を恨んでる女の人に、タイガ、あなたは刺されてしまった。犯人と間違われて。
And what happened? I can't believe it, but given how things look, I can't help but think this way. Don't tell me. I died? After a brief silence, I heard a faint sound of bells again. Was the direction she shook her head side to side or up and down? After a slightly long silence, long enough for me to even think such things,
そう、
Kuro said,
タイガ、あなたは死んでしまった。真白を一人、この世界に置いて。
Yeah. And then, who was in front of like the Tokito door then? That's the taiga we know. I mean, I already had an idea that maybe that's another. There's two taigas. Because he said he entrusted something to someone, so I'm guessing there was... I don't know, man. I looked at my palm. I don't know how many times I've done that today. I just stared at my hand. So, if that's the case, then what am I? Here and now. Don't tell me. Kuro had said she would try her best at first, that she'd try her best to tell me without hurting me. I slowly looked around. Don't tell me this world, which I lived in until today, believing it was reality, is actually not reality, but the afterlife. So this is the Yoru no Kuni. So I'm already dead, and I just haven't realized it myself. What is this, a virgin? I've seen countless stories wrapped in such ideas, to the point of being sick of them. Nothing goes right. There's nothing fun. The world where even my close childhood friend lost her life, and everything was scattered, broken apart. It was about time I started getting tired of living this nightmare like daily life. Therefore, is that why I'm being confronted with such a truth now? The truth that the reality I've seen until now was actually nothing but fiction.
違うよ。
I heard the faint chime of bells again.
違う。タイガ。あなたはちゃんと生きてるよ。あなたの生きてるこの世界も、不思議の国の中じゃない。
不思議の国. I'm alive. But that itself is the problem. I wonder if feeling like I was being told that was... Am I being overly sensitive? Letting my self-consciousness or victim mentality run wild?
タイガ。奏でタイガ。あなたはね、あの子にとってヒーローだった。あの子はいつもあなたみたいになりたいって祈っていたの。
That child?
そう。
The child Kuro spoke of always held a small black kitten. They say he was the child who was always by my side in the story. Wait, so there are two people there. And wait, there was always two people, and then that dude with Taiga always had Kuro. I call that child my Aibo, Otomodachi, or even Kazuku. That child was quiet, and he had an expressionless face that showed no emotion. Whenever I spoke to him or smiled at him, in the story, he would nod or shake his head. Every time he made such a subtle gesture, the bells of the collar of the Koroneko he always held in his arms would jingle. Kuro, when I talk to you on the denwa, I sometimes hear the same bell sound. So I kind of thought that person in the denwa might be that child. Because the child who was always by my side in the story seemed so cute. So now I thought that girl talking to me on the phone like this might be that child.
そうだね。うん。タイガは可愛いよね。
Her voice sounded as if she was smiling.
学園祭でお友達に女の子の格好させられちゃうくらいとっても可愛いって私もね思うよ。
Let's not bring up bad memories.
小さな頃はもっともっと本当の女の子みたいに可愛かった。
Gakuensai? I had no memory of ever being made to cross-dress or doing such a thing.
お願い
Kuro said.
タイガお願いあの子を助けて。あの子にとってあなたは奏タイガはヒーローだったの。あの子はあなたみたいになりたいからと祈り願ってあらゆる大切なものから憎まれることにした。だからきっといつか私もあの子のことを。
Kuro said she didn't want that. Kuro said that was too cruel.
お願いお願いします。私にはできない。無理なの。こんなに祈っているのにダメだ。私にはあの子を助けられない。だからどうかお願い。あの子のことをあなたが助けてあげて。
She pleaded repeatedly. She prayed repeatedly. But a hero, huh? I, who have thought countless times about throwing away my own life. I, who can't even save my own life. Think I could save someone else. Think I could save someone else's life. That's not even a pipe dream. What can someone like me possibly do? I somehow swallowed those words, which could only be called the defeatist. Nah, Kuro. The chime of the bell again. The faint hint of tears seeping through the phone line was being drowned out by the small bell's sound. And then those two, Mashiro and that boy, what happened to them? Whether or not I can save someone. Not just that, but a lot of other questions and confusion. Whether or not I have a duty to solve them. The answers to all of that. Will you tell me about it again now?
話すよ。私たちにとっての救いの主がヒーローがもうどこにもいなくなってしまった世界の話。あなたに聞いてもらいたいって思う。
Soka. I felt that for Kuro, talking to me like this was Kibo. I'm sorry to be such a hopeless and unreliable Kibo. I truly am. Hontoni. With those feelings smothering, I have no choice but to listen to the rest for now. The boy who knocked on the room door instead of Taiga was very quiet.
私のことが見えてる？声も聞こえる？
Even when she asked that, he only tilted his head.
もしも私がわかるなら、あなたのお名前教えてほしいな。
Even when she asked him that way, he still just tilted his head.
困ったな。
Her voice was probably reaching him. He could probably see her semi-transparent self too. That was the feeling. But the boy didn't speak. He barely reacted to her calls. He just kept tilting his head. Each time, A small bell chimed and swayed on the neck of the koneko he held firmly in his arms. Who could this boy be? Why can't he see her? The problem wasn't just that.
タイガー
It was that Taiga didn't come. No matter how long she waited, he'd come for me right away. Taiga told me that. He told me we'd live together outside the Yoru. So wait here, he said. He'll definitely come, he said. But the Taiga is setting soon. Taiga still hasn't come. Instead, the one who knocked on the door was a small, cute boy who could probably see me, and just one koneko held in his arms.
どうしよう
I felt anxious. Spending a yoru other than the yoru is probably my first time since becoming translucent. It's like I've been left all alone in an unfamiliar place. I'm scared. I'm lonely. Nah, Taiga. What should I do? I heard a small stomach rumbling. I turned around. The boy was standing close to me.
そっかお腹空いちゃうよね
You have a body in life after all.
行こっかここには美味しいものは何もないから一緒に何か探しに行こう
Something might have happened to Taiga. Just waiting silently was painful. Delicious food for the boy. And for me, Taiga's smile. To find what we needed together, I cautiously stepped out of the room. The town was completely dark, but I saw no familiar lights. That was a Yoru I didn't know. My anxiety and fear swelled even larger, but
ごめんね手をつないで歩いてあげられなくて迷子にならないよう気をつけてね
I went down the slope in front of the academy. The boy followed after me. Why did this child come to me instead of Taiga? What is this child's relationship with Taiga? There's so much I want to ask, but right now, for now, I'll look for food. I also need to look for Taiga. He might be lost. Taiga had only ever come to the Tokito from the Yoru side, so we'll pick you up.
教えてほしいな好きな食べ物とか嫌いなものとかあるのかな
I suddenly remembered Haru's storyline, by the way. I asked with a smile. The boy just shook his head once, trembling slightly.
じゃあ嫌いなものは
As expected, the boy merely shook his head faintly.
そっか好きなものはないけれど代わりに嫌いもないあなたは好き嫌いしないいい子なんだね
Then what about amaimono? Don't you like them? I smiled and asked. The boy let out a small faint smile as if imitating me, a truly tiny one. He's such a cute boy, I thought.
デザートにはチョコレートがあれば完璧なんだけどな
It would be great if I could blow away all anxiety and fear with a smile. I felt that way watching the boy smile. Holding onto such a baseless and groundless hope, we move forward. I'll walk through the town alongside the boy. Compared to when I was alive, a considerable part of the town had changed. I was looking for Taiga, but it felt like I was going to get lost myself.
ごめんね食べられそうなもの何も見つけられなかったね
We had returned to the Tokito's control room. In the end, there was nowhere else to go, and I couldn't risk missing Taiga. Maybe if we returned to the room, Taiga would be waiting for us, for me, for us. I had that kibo too, but as expected, there was still no one in the room.
明日また考えようこれからのこといろいろたくさんだから今日はもうお休みしようか
Under the table, the one that had the gramophone on the Yoru side, but was bare on the side, the boy curled up, tightly holding the koneko. The embrace Koneko seemed used to it, not looking crap at all, and yawned in the boy's arm before closing its eyes. The small boy sleeping. Hey, who are you? I asked that in my mind.
教えてほしいな。あなたはタイガがどこにいるか知ってる？
The instant I murmured that, for a moment, just a fleeting moment, as it felt as if this child's voice, this heart, flowed into my own from the fingertips I touched.
そっか。あなたも一人ぼっちなんだね。
It's just like me. He's just like me. Touching the boy's heart, I was able to learn what I wanted to know. Taiga has died. Man. So who's this boy then? Taiga won't come here anymore. No. He's become unable to come here. Taiga in the end handed his power to this child. That's why this child can see me. That's why this child came to me all alone. He brought me the power entrusted to him by Taiga.
それをこの子から受け取れば、私は夜に戻れる。
And there, I can meet Taiga again. That's how it should be, right?
きっとタイガは夜の中で私が戻ってくるのを待っていてくれるよね。
I try asking in a small voice, but the boy remains asleep. Only the ears of the Koneko cradle in his arms tremble slightly. If I were to lay my transparent hand over the boy's without actually touching it, then pray it would be complete. With Taiga's power connecting the Yoru in the outside, I'd connect with the Yoru, and as if my wish were granted, return.
ごめんね。
I placed my hand over the boy's and said, I'm sorry for peeking into your memories without permission.
タイガはこの町にお父さんを探しにやってきた。そしてあなたはお母さんを探しにやってきたんだね。
There's a lot of what is going on here. I was still in the outside. I hadn't returned to the Yoru.
さあ、一緒に行こう。
As morning approached, we left the small control room of the large Tokito.
あなたのお母さんを探しに行こう。タイガの代わりが私みたいな半透明でごめんね。でも頑張るから。頑張ってタイガの代わりに約束を果たすよ。
The boy remained expressionless, only showing a gesture as if tilting his head as expected. But what I felt in his eyes was the boy's loneliness. I once thought about returning to the Yoru. I want to meet Taiga. I want to meet him now. But people don't die. If I return to the Yoru, we'll surely meet it soon. There, I want to directly tell you the feelings I hold for you. That I love you. The feelings I finally realized are my own. For that, I thought about taking Taiga's power from the boy's hand, but...
あなたと私、なんだか似てるね。
You and I are not so different all this time. Anyway, I unconsciously muttered that. It was. That's why I felt I couldn't leave this child alone in this world. Because, なぜなら。
あなたも大好きな人に振り向いてほしくって、これまでいっぱい寂しかったんだね。
Because last night, I touched the boy's heart. I recalled a bit of the memories he glimpsed then. Immediately after he was born, the boy was confined to a dark, cold dungeon. Talentless, worthless. The one thing of value was the life he was born with, merely an offering to gain eternal life desired by the adults. It didn't even include a Noroi like Taiga's.
名前はない。両親の名前も知らない。自分を地下室に置いていった母親の横顔を、最後に母親が残していった言葉をただぼんやり思い出せるくらい。
The boy still remembers the promise her Okasan gave him. His Okasan said, "It's some kind of mistake that you were confined in this dungeon. You have something, a power to illuminate your pitch black future, dazzlingly. It just hasn't awakened yet. I'll definitely come back to save you, so hold on until then. The boy's mother said that and made a pinky promise to the boy through the dungeon bars. Someday.
いつか世界で一番自分に優しくしてほしい人が迎えに来てくれる。
The boy believed. With only such faint memories as his Kibo, the boy lived his life as if merely repeating breaths, unconsciously closing off his heart. The deep cold dungeon's events, hunger, loneliness, sadness, were too overwhelming for a young boy's heart. The only light poured into the bottom of that hell was his mother's words. I'll definitely come back to save you someday.
でもこの子のお母さんはいつまで経っても迎えに来てはくれなくて。
He simply believed his Okasan's words and continued to wait at the bottom of hell forever. He simply shared his food with the Koneko that had wandered into the dungeon from somewhere, waiting for the moment his Okasan would come pick him up. I knew it wasn't his long-awaited Okasan's gomen for making you wait that saved the boy from the depths of hell. It was me, Kanade Taiga. Let's go together, Taiga said. You don't have to be in a place like this anymore. Come with me. Let's go see the people you want to meet. He showed no reaction to me other than a nod, saying nothing. Often visiting the dungeon, I understood why the boy closed his heart and how adults force him to that state. No matter how long you wait, the person you cherish won't come. In that case, why don't we go to them instead? I'm pretty much the same as you. My cherished people and things won't come, however long I wait. So, I'll go meet everyone I want, escaping this house. See? They say happiness don't walk to you, right? It's the famous song everyone knows. I said that, and after some time I managed to break the dungeon bars. Then I offered the boys my hand. Instead of waiting for what you seek, go to it yourself. It was just those few words. However, a person's world is shaped by the number of words they perceive and by the meaning of the words they've been told until then. It was as a casual words for someone who had caused the boy to close his heart. However, the boy's world opened a little with just those few words Taiga uttered. It was a feeling akin to epiphany for him. There was such a way. So the boy took the hand I offered. It was for him to take a step forward into the mirai from the depths of hell. I must meet the expectations of adults. My purpose is to make my world complete.
どうかな？あなたのお家どこかに見えてる？
We had come to a koen with a panoramic view of the town. After staring intently at the townscape, I saw the boy shake his head, trembling slightly.
そっか、わかんないか。ゴールはまだまだ遠そうだね。
We sat on the bench together, vaguely gazing at the spring-colored town. I made 2 promises to the boy. I'll take you to the person you cherish. Absolutely. I promise you. Your Okasan is also somewhere in Sanzen town, apparently. A kind-seeming adult told me so. So let's get out of this hellish place together. Absolutely. I'll absolutely protect you. The harshness of the outside world, the unreasonableness, the unbearable loneliness, I'll protect you from all those invisible things. I told the boy with a wry smile that for some reason I couldn't bear to leave him on the ground. We're comrades, Taiga said. I'm a lonely person left behind by those I cherish. Alike in spirit, I'm sure we can help each other live, complementing our shortcomings. I feel it. My shortcoming of being dead. Anyway, but the promise wasn't fulfilled. Taiga lost his life. He was taken by an adult with a broken heart. On the way to the Tokito, where I'd meet him last night, after the boy slept, I secretly went where Taiga died. I learned of that place through the boy's Kyoku. Many adults with grim faces gathered, shouting at each other noisily, and the police cars and the ambulances were constantly arriving and departing. I sigh. Taiga and I can no longer walk the future we envisioned together. The commotion I saw, and hurt in that place last night felt like the biggest proof of that. It's a very sad thing, but it's truly, truly painful, sad, and lonely. But I know. People don't die. Even if they used up the time given to them in the outside world, life is reborn into Yoru no Kuni, Yoru no Sekai. Precisely because I understood that undeniable truth, I shouldn't have been sad. I knew that if I returned to the Yoru, I could meet Taiga again. Indeed, people don't die. What about people, people die when they're killed. Anyway, though life may perish, the soul was eternal. But a person's heart can die. A person who has no memory of being loved by anyone in their childhood, their heart can never become a healthy adult. Leaving this child all alone felt like leaving my past self, who cried, wanting to be loved by my Okasan and Tosan, alone once more. I can't leave him. That's what I thought last night, after touching the boy's heart. Perhaps Taiga also felt a similarity to himself in this boy. That's why Taiga made a promise to the boy. I'll definitely protect you. But Taiga isn't here anymore, so I fulfilled Taiga's yakusoku to let the boy meet his Okasan. It was a yume I, in my past life, couldn't achieve. Treated as a non-existent, I always wished to meet my parents, laughing happily above as I lay in my basement bed. Nah, Taiga. I called out to him in my heart.
大丈夫だよね。この子をあなたの代わりにお母さんのところに連れて行くまで夜で待っていてくれるよね。
I'll come right away once I've seen the boy home.
だから待ってて。お願いね、タイガ。どうか全部うまくいくように私たちに力を貸してくれたら嬉しいな。
I kept calling out again and again to the quiet, unseen Yoru, and to the many feelings that still lived within them. Wait, I need to take a short break. I'll be right back.
何も見つからなかったね。
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'd walk around town all day, but I couldn't find the boy's house, nor could I find anything that looked like it would fill my stomach. We had nowhere to go. In the end, we returned to the Toketo's control room. I'm guessing to fill the boy's stomach or something. I sighed and slumped onto the table. The boy watched me intently.
わかってるよ。たった一日中歩き回っただけで宝物が見つからなかったからって、そんなのは普通だよね。
The boy tilted his head. He didn't say anything, but his gaze seemed to wander. Takaramono? Yeah. I felt like he probably was thinking that. It was strange, but I could somehow sense the boy's feelings. Sensing unseen feelings was probably something I, as an unseen translucent being, was good at.
そうだよ。宝物。
I nodded and said,
今日の分のご飯も、あなたのお母さんも、甘くて美味しいチョコレートみたいにね。この町のどこかに隠されている宝物だよ。
So I have to be prepared that they won't be found so easily, I said.
宝物は見つけにくいものだからこそ宝物なんだし。明日もまた一緒に頑張ろう。
The boy didn't answer. Without nodding or shaking his head, he simply stared out the window at the townscape bathed in Yoru. Seeing the boy's stubbornness, I couldn't help but think we were very similar, looking at my fluttery, fluffy, pure white clothing. Huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Mashiro? Last night, I, the translucent one, touched the sleeping boy's heart and recalled a part of what I've glimpsed. Clicking the padlock on the dungeon cell shut, the person, an adult whose face and name I didn't know, said, "Never cry, wail, or talk back. Listen to us, adults. Only children who obey are good. All others are selfish and bad. Understood? Are you listening carefully? If you can become a good child, if you can become an adult who doesn't bother anyone, then your Okasan should come pick you up right away. If you can't do that, understood? If you can't meet our expectations, no one here will ever love you." So the boy, as expected, wished to be someone who didn't complain, never cried or wailed, and closed his heart. He believed that if he did, his Okasan would come pick him up. I looked at my own form again. Lottery. A mashiro dress. I finally realized now that this form was an expression of my uneasy feelings. Touching the boy's heart, I understood my own. I had to meet my Otosan's expectations, or I wouldn't be loved. This form was my anxiety.
バカみたいだよね。もうこの世界のどこにも私のお父さんはいないのに。それなのにまだ昔々に投げかけられた言葉に私はどこか怯えてる。
Everyone can only see the world through their own heart. And the heart is made of words that have been cast upon it, and the words it has found.
そうだね。私も
I guess I'm the same as you after all. I must be feeling somewhere that if I'm not the self someone expects, I won't even be given a reason to live here like this, I thought. How foolish of me. My entire life is time just for myself. Worrying about someone's mood, being swayed by someone's desires, having my time wasted for someone's convenience. Because every 1 second of such time is a waste.
私ももう誰かの期待通りの自分はやめるよ。
The I love you words Taiga gave me are creating my world. I can truly feel that.
私はもうこの世界を救う代わりに救ったはずの世界中から憎まれる。そんな夜の女王になるためには生きないよ。
It's okay for me to be that selfish self. It's okay for me to live as I wish. There's someone who says I love you to that me and loves me. Such were Taiga's feelings, and his words that gave me peace of mind. To make me truly feel that, perhaps Taiga led me out from the Yoru. Someday, I want to look forward to the day I meet Taiga in the Yoru, and we can compare our answers. But for now, it's this child. I wanted to leave a small dream for this child. Taiga rescued from hell. It felt like a true break from my long-held loneliness. With a bit of that as my declaration of my resolve, I closed my eyes.
こんな感じが多分私らしいよね。
Imagining it takes but an instant. I shivered just a little. That was the only change I could feel. A strong light burst forth, visible even through my closed eyelids. And of course, there was no embarrassing music. Did I do it well? I don't have much confidence. Hesitantly, I opened my eyelids.
よかった。ちゃんとできてる。
She did an outfit change. Is this her Maho Shoujo? Actually, it doesn't even look like it. It looks like a pajama outfit. What is she wearing? I peered into the small mirror in the control room and nodded a few times. Then I turned to the boy.
どうかな？服変えてみたんだけど、変じゃない？
I can't tell what you're trying to do, but interesting sense of fashion, I guess. Question mark. I have no idea what she's wearing. I spun around to show it off because I wanted to hide my embarrassment.
今日一日街を歩いていてね、今時の女の子っぽい衣装をいっぱい見たよ。
What the girls wear these days.
そんな服着てる自分も想像してはみたけれど、でもダメだね。私にはあんな短いスカートとか想像しただけでも恥ずかしくなっちゃうくらい似合わないから。
I got it, Grandma. I didn't actually like noticeable clothes, so I changed from the Mashiro dress to something plain, like loungewear. I even tried changing my hairstyle a bit. I like how she. This is so it's deliberately how loungewear, so she's just chilling out. She wanted to chill out. Well, most of her life was spent on bed, so she's used to loungewear.
あなた以外の誰に見られるわけでもないけれど、あんな目立つ格好で街を歩くのはなんだかとっても恥ずかしかった。それにね、ひらひらでふわふわで、あんな丈の長いドレスじゃ歩きづらいし。
I was getting a little too talkative, almost like I was making excuses. Realizing that made me even more embarrassed. The boy tilted his head. If that's the case, why were you dressed like that? Such a question seemed to float in his eyes.
多分お父さんがそういう私が可愛いって言ってくれたからだと思う。
You mean when you look like Miguka? Or what was your dad into? What the hell? I spoke my mind honestly.
可愛いドレスがいつまでも似合う私でいてほしい。お父さんはそういう私しか愛せない。
Those words were probably a joke, but the small me believed those casual words.
死んでしまった後になってもお父さんの期待通りの服を着て、世界で一番好きだった人たちに世界で一番好きになってもらおうと頑張っていたけれど、この服の方が私らしいって自分では思うよ。だからこれはね、もう誰の期待通りにも生きないよって、そういう気持ちの証明のつもりかな。
Okay, I'll buy that. Okay, I'll buy that reason. Okay, I totally understand the loungewear now. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Whatever. From now on, I'll wear the clothes I want to wear, however I want to wear them, and I hope I can become the person I want to be.
だからね、あなたも笑っていいんだよ。悲しいことがあったら泣けばいい。わがまま言って私をたくさん困らせたっていいんだよ。ここにはそんなことくらいであなたのことを嫌いになるような人はどこにもいないよ。つまり何が言いたいかっていうと、難しいけど。
After a slight hesitation, I spoke.
これからは誰かの期待通りじゃなくって自分で自分に期待する通りに生きていける、そんな素敵な大人になるために私と一緒に頑張ろうって、そう言いたかったんだよ。
The boy's stomach rumbled.
そうだった。ごめん。服よりもご飯だよね。
But it was completely yoru now. I couldn't go look for something at this hour.
それどうしたの？
The Kuroi Koneko, the boy always held in his arms, was standing at his feet, holding something in its mouth.
何か探しに行ってくれてたの？
Had it left the boy's arm at some point, gone outside, then found something in return? The boy took what the Koneko was holding. It was a silver rectangular plate. I recognized its shape.
なんだっけ。
I crossed my arms, grunting in thought, and slowly remembered.
あ、それってもしかして。
Chocolate? Just as I asked, the boy snapped it in half with a crisp sound.
甘い匂いだ。
Like she really transformed there. She was so happy with the sound of my... I found myself entranced. Amazing. Sugoi. Even though I'm semi-transparent, I can smell it.
ちょっぴりビターな大人の味だね。きっとそう。すごい。あなたの子猫はすごい子だね。たった一匹でこんな美味しそうな宝物見つけてきちゃったよ。
Unfortunately, the Koneko isn't allowed to eat chocolates until she finally gets her human form. But for now, she can't. She'll die. The boy offered me half he had broken off.
いいの？
I said, surprised.
そんなすごい宝物、私にも分けてくれるの？
As if to say, of course, the boy nodded.
ありがと
I'm so happy. It's amazing. One of my dreams came true.
う。でも、できれば大河と一緒に食べたかったな。
I had the boy feed me with a and bring the chocolate to my mouth, but
お口の中に入んないよ。
man, that really sucks. It was pretty much the result I imagined.
いいよいいよ。気にしないで全部食べちゃって。溶けちゃったらもったいないよ。
Looking somewhat apologetic, the boy slowly brought the chocolate to his mouth. He also shared a small piece with the connect. Wait, no, the Koneko will die. The Koneko was licking the chocolate piece, but huh? Wait, is it okay to give chocolate to Neko? The Neko? Such a question arose, but
いいなぁ、いいなぁ。私も一緒にチョコレート食べたいなぁ。
I like how this isn't the second time they actually asked that question about chocolates and cats. Thing is, cats can't eat chocolates, but it's like they're aware of it and they're like, you know, like just give us a bone, man. Just let the story continue, man. I puffed out my cheeks and pouted. It seemed to me that the boy gave me a small smile. Man, it's gotta suck to be like Mashiro, man. Can't eat the chocolate. The next day, we walked around town again. We were looking for the boy's Okasan in her house. There was almost no clues. The face and voice of his Okasan I saw when I touched the boy's heart. That's the only clue. I also vaguely remembered the boy's house. I don't know the way. Perhaps the boy doesn't remember it, or simply can't recall it.
いいなぁ、いいなぁ、ソフトクリーム。私も一緒に食べたいなぁ。
Stop. I don't want to go out to look for soft cream. We stopped at the same koan as yesterday, thinking it would take a short break. The boy sat on the bench overlooking the town, slowly licking his soft cream with relish. Wait, did you say relish? No, not literally the relish. It's relish like the verb. Anyway, I was right beside him, staring enviously at his every thought, every move. My eyes were glued to the sweet, delicious treat. I was probably drooling too. Then the boy gently offered me the tip of his soft cream.
わーい、いいの？ありがとう。
I pretended to be excited, and with a trill, I opened my mouth for a bite, but the boy looked downcast because, as expected, I, being semi-transparent, couldn't eat the amai no oishii soft cream he offered.
ごめんね、そんな顔しないで。すっごく美味しそうだったから、つい食べられないの分かってるのに、ふざけてみたくなっちゃっただけなんだ。
More than that, I'm happy I could feel slight changes in your expression and emotions, though your expressionless and quiet. Whether such an atmosphere between us arose due to a change in my heart or something in the boys, I don't know. But if the time we spent talking last night was one of the reasons, I'll be a little happy. I thought such things. Several stalls lined the park. We bought the soft cream there. From last night to this morning, the boys' Koneko started gathering various necessities from somewhere. Okane was included among them. The only small change, but it was enough to buy food to fill up a small boy's small stomach. I watched from nearby to see if the boy could shop by himself. This child is smart. Even when buying the soft krimu, he properly handed over the exact change requested. 3 100 yen coins and 1 50 yen coin. Is this the same amount in the beginning of the game? I can't remember.
すごいね。一人でお買い物なんて。私があなたくらいの年にはそんなことまだできなかったよ。私ね、小さな頃は100円玉が1枚あればお金持ちだって思ってたんだよ。だって銀色でピカピカしてるんだもん。絵本の中の王子様は銀色の硬貨でお馬さんをいっぱい買ってたし、だからね、お小遣いで100円玉を2枚ももらえてた私は。
Back when they were still kind. Back when my body was still healthy.
どうしよう。実は王子様くらいお金持ちかもしれないって思ってね。ドキドキして眠れなくなるくらい何にも知らないおバカちゃんだったんだよ。
The boy tilted his head. The small Kuroneko curled up in his lap, glanced at me, yawned indifferently, then wiggled and curled up even smaller. I stared intently at the Kuroneko, noticing my gaze immediately. The Koneko looked at me uneasily, glancing back and forth.
あなたは
I speak to the Koneko.
あなたは夜の生き物だね。普通の子猫じゃないよね。
I had a feeling that was the case from the start.
だからあなたには私が見えるし、私の声も言葉も届いてる。そうだよね。
But this is Yoronoko Ikemano who can interact with the real world for some reason. I mean, we already know that they're capable of doing that, but like, well, Mashiro is dead. Straight up dead. But you're literally talking to a ghost-ish. Whatever she is. I glanced my way again. I'd hoped it would say something, but as expected, it said nothing. Didn't even let out a single meow, and closed its eyes as if turning away. There were so many things I wanted to ask the Koneko. Why is it with this boy? What kind of person this boy was it to it? All sorts of things. But the Koneko seemed to have no interest in me whatsoever. When the boy finished his sotokrima, the Koneko suddenly lifted its head. It let out a tiny meow. Or rather, chisai no chisai no nya. That's so sad to say out loud. It was a cute voice. Then the boy carefully picked up the Koneko again and tugged it tightly with both arms. Cradled in his arms, the Koneko narrowed its eyes, contently and purred softly.
そっか。そこがあなたのお気に入りなんだね。
I somehow understand the feeling of loving to be hugged. Your voice just now. A Koneko meowing to the boy. It was a lovely sound. That alone tells me you really love the boy, don't you? I still don't understand much about you or the boy you love. But for now, understanding the Koneko's feelings is enough. The stalls weren't just selling sotokrima. There were also selling takoyaki, kakigori, and other treats. It seemed they weren't just targeting Hanami viewers or something like that. A festival apparently scheduled for a few days later. I'd seen posters announcing it plastered not just in the Koen, but all over the Machi many times.
あなたの子猫ちゃんが拾ってきてくれたお金、まだ少し残ってるね。どうしよっか。たこ焼きとかも買えるよ。ソフトクリームだけじゃお腹空かない？
The boy shook his head. The Koneko's bell, nestled against the boy's chest, jingled.
そっか。偉いね。お金は大事だもん。節約しなきゃだね。でも無理もダメだよ。ちゃんと食べなきゃ力が出ないんじゃないかな。お母さんを探しに歩いていけなくなっちゃったら大変だよ。
Bro, do you know how many days before he was able to eat again? The boy narrowed his eyes. He cast his gaze over the townscape, staring intently.
あなたのお母さん、 どこにいるんだろうね。早く見つかったらいいね。あのね、もし嫌なこと聞いてたらごめんね。
The boy looked up at me, stared at by his colorless eyes, and said with a smile.
お母さんに会えたらどうしたい？何か言いたいこととかやってもらいたいこととかあるのかな？
The boy hugged the koneko he was holding tightly. He wanted to be hugged. Just that. I felt like I saw such a small wish. Why is that? The depths of my translucent chest ached.
おかしいよね。
I sighed and said,
そうだよ、おかしいよ。こんなにあなたが会いたいって思ってるのに。それなのにあなたの会いたい大切な人にその思いはなかなか届いてくれない。
The boy's nagai to meet his okasan could take on a form that was clear to everyone, even without words. What if that boy's okasan find him right away? Wouldn't she forgive such a thing with a smile, even if unpleasant adults call it selfishness?
もどかしいよね、すごく。
Why are nagai invisible? This world is overflowing with many important things that cannot be seen. Well, you know what they say, without love it cannot be seen. If nagai that can never be expressed by words alone, no matter how hard one tries to convey them, were visible, wouldn't people, hearts and minds, be able to connect more deeply and cherish each other even more? That's right. Since ancient times, humans conveyed wishes beyond words to loved ones via art, stories, or song. Thinking that is strange. Many wishes like that overlap to form this world, and this world appeared very dear and dazzling to me. In reality, it's very cruel, very cold, and lonely. Only such feelings accumulate here, but I want to believe that within sadness and loneliness, there are beautifully shining light and future. Someone long, long ago might have named such feelings as Kibo and Yume, or even I, or even Yuki. They might have called them by such names. To say it's okay, the fact that I can casually think things that adults would probably laugh at means I'm still a child. I actually don't dislike that part of myself.
よし、それじゃあ休憩はこれくらいにして、今日もあともう少しだけ歩いてみよう。
We haven't searched over there yet, have we? I said, pointing at the town. Today, too, we walked around town all day. Night fell and we returned to the Tokito's control room. Tokito. I looked outside the open window. It was a Yoru more restless than the Yoru itself. A Yoru of sharp flickering lights. Lost things are hard to find. No matter how much you search, they won't be found easily. I've heard that song countless times. It was surely a famous song that everyone must have known. Songs teach us many things. I wonder what kind of Takaramono the person who wrote this song was searching for in this world.
あなたのお母さんのお家見つけられたね。頑張って歩いた成果だって思ってもいいかな。
That's right. We found the Takaramono we sought.
でももう引っ越しちゃってる後みたいだったね。
All I found was the treasure chest. Takara no bako or something like that. I can't remember. The crucial inside of the box was empty.
チャイムを鳴らしてみても誰も答えてくれなかったし。
Wait, you know, there's a lot of inconsistency with the physicality of like Mashiro. She's capable of opening doors and ringing a chime, but she can't eat. I mean, she's able to interact with like some physical objects, but why can't she interact with food? I don't get it, man. You, the Koneko, and me. The three of us peered into the house through the window, through the Madoka. There was no furniture or anything inside. I couldn't sense any signs of life. It was the Koneko that found the house. The Koroneko the boy always carried around. Around our break at the Koen, we walked through town. The shopping district must once been lively, and the grand shrine atop of the many stone steps. Everything we passed by was filled with so much sakura pink that it seemed about to overflow. In the townscape painted by Haru in full bloom, and there were the lives of people we could never even know, let alone be involved with, layered one upon another, and it made me feel a strange sense of wonder. A sign erected at the foot of the stone steps stated that it had been a long time since the townspeople began jointly managing the jinja. It seemed there were no longer any priests or miko living there. Yeah, this is way past Hiyori's time, so obviously Hiyori's... I don't know what happened to Hiyori. We prayed for his okasan to be found. The boy put a 10 and 5 yen coin from his change into the offering box.
それ知ってるよ。5円と10円が1枚ずつで、5円が十分ありますようにっていうおまじないだよね。
Wait, there's a certain combination for that? Okay, I'll try to remember that next time I do an offering to a box like that. As if. She said it so proudly, partly because she wanted to show off her knowledge and act a little like an onesan. But the boy, as usual, said nothing and remained expressionless, simply tilting his head. As we reached the bottom of the Jinja stone steps, the Koneko leaped from the boy's arms and toddled off somewhere. When I chased after it with the boy, we found another shopping district. Different from the one we had just passed, where closed stores lined up side by side. We passed in front of a kisaten that had completely fallen in disuse. Oh, so I don't know what happened to Chiwa. Did Chiwa even have children? Well, they did have that, like, the whole issue at the end of her route where she was close to, she was dying because of childbirth. Until, of course, something happened. Inside the shop, through the window, I could see a magnificent gramophone and shelves lined with many records. It made me feel a little nostalgic. In the Yoru, I always listened to songs. In the Tokito's control room, I would clear my mind with Bongaku, read Hon, and imagine stories on the small ceiling I looked at that. Days after leaving the Yoru, I miss songs, stories, and pictures. The Yoru had been full of colors. The outside still feels a little lonely. The sounds, the light, the colors, they're a little sparse. Just as I let out a sigh. The Koneko was sitting a few meters ahead, waiting for us. When I caught up, the Koneko started walking again, turning down a few back alleys, and at the end of the path, there was a house. It was a perfectly ordinary house. Nothing particularly stood out about it, but it was a familiar house. It was very similar to what I've seen when I touched the boy's heart. I glanced at the boy's face beside me, and in his eyes I saw the feeling, this is my home.
ね、あなたは男の子のお家の場所知ってたのかな?
I tried asking the Koneko, but it seemed to have no interest in me. It didn't even meow, just turned its head away. The boy continued to slowly and carefully stroke the Koneko sitting on his lap. For some reason, it looked to me as if he was praying that the purring Koneko's presence might bring him some inexplicable comfort. What should I do now? Unable to say anything, I suddenly cast my gaze out the window. The night scenery, repeating its faint blinks, was there. But I already knew that there was no takaramono left in the scenery. Only the answers seemed to be flickering within the faint light. The boy suddenly stood up and abruptly closed the madoka.
どうしたの?
The boy turned to me, who had just asked, He slowly, tremblingly shook his head. Then he stared into my eyes and shook his head again. At first, I didn't understand what he wanted to say, but it was like, it's okay now. It seemed to me that the boy wanted to say, it's okay now. Arigato. But Okasan is no longer in his town. A voice I shouldn't have heard. A kanji I shouldn't have seen. I felt them as if they were tangible. It might have been my imagination or just a delusion, but at that moment, the faint expression the boys silently showed. It made my chest ache deep inside, uncontrollably. I sat on the small windows, still, gazing at the itinerary. The boy and the koneko were sleeping under the table. I remember sitting here in the Yoro no Sekai, talking about all sorts of things with Taiga. I thought I had resolved myself, all kinds of resolve, and yet now, why am I here again? Why aren't you next to me now again? Am my chest throbbing with pain from loneliness or from sadness? Is my chest throbbing with pain from loneliness or from sadness? These feelings too hard to word. I can't forget. With no need to sleep, I gazed at the town sunk into the dusk of night. The boy's Okasan wasn't in this town. That was the result of our treasure hunt over the past few days. For the state of the house we found, I felt she must have moved out quite a while ago.
もう私の役目は終わったのかな。
A roll though.
そもそも誰に頼まれたでも願われたでもなくて、ただ私が勝手にあの男の子のそばにくっついていただけだよね。誰かが私を必要としてるわけでもないのに。
Taiga? Did you totally forget about Taiga? But okay. But
いつか夜でまたタイガと会えたら喜んでくれるんじゃないかって思って。
if it's your smile, I want to gaze at it as many of them as possible, no matter what it takes. If I could fully help this child, Taiga said, until the very end. By doing so, I felt like it would be proof that Taiga lived in this world.
もういいよね。これ以上私は何もできない。
The power of Taiga entrusted to the boy's hands. I'll take that and return to the Yoro no Sekai. I want to see Mama, a little boy's wish. I want Mama to hold me, just a little boy's prayer. Because I understood that none of those would come true. The outcome too is just one result.
Taiga.
I only intended to casually call his name. And yet...
あれおかしいな。
Why is that? A single tear fell. I should have been sad. I know I'll definitely meet him again if I return to the Yoru. Even so, why did just one tear fall? Why do I feel so uncontrollably sad? I wanted to live the future with Taiga. When I was happy, when I was lonely, even when sadness overflowed endlessly, I wanted to cry and laugh with you. We wished upon the Yoru with our hands clasped, hoping to making that come true in the outside world. If the time we envisioned could come true, then no matter what happened, all of that time would have been happy. Such feelings overflowed in my chest, more than words can express. Huh. Just as I thought, Taiga.
今すぐあなたに会いたいよ。
I understood that these tears were the shape of those feelings. A faint bell sound, and I was surprised. I turned around. The boy was standing there, staring intently at me.
どうしたの？眠れない？
I quickly wiped away my tears so he wouldn't notice and tried to smile. The boy nodded his head. From his unsteady gaze, I heard a formless voice. I can't sleep. Not at all. He was still tightly holding the koneko in his arms. I worried if he had overheard my monologue, but it seemed I had no need to worry. The boy was swaying his small head sleepily. He was sleepy, but couldn't sleep. When he closed his eyes, only a scary future crossed his mind. Okasan? Okasan? Why did you leave me? I don't understand. I don't understand, Okasan. He looked up at me anxiously, as if to say that feeling overflowing his chest, which wouldn't disappear, were painful.
そっか、眠れないか。
After thinking for a moment, I spoke.
だったら、夢を数えるといいよ。
At my words, the boy tilted his head in wonder.
あのね、私のお母さんがね、今夜のあなたと同じように、なんでだかどうしても眠れない私によく言ってくれたことを思い出したの。
Okasan. My chest ached. It was a pain mixed with various feelings. Wishing to hide that pain, I smiled.
眠れない夜は羊を数えるって言うでしょ。羊が1匹、羊が2匹って。それもいいけど、夢を数える方がもっともっと効果的だよ。
My cousin, back when she was still kind to me, would rest her head on the same makura and tell me that with a smile.
だから私ね、地下室のベッドで悲しくて寂しくて眠れない夜はそのことを思い出してた。こうなったらいいなっていう夢を想像して、この場合妄想なのかな。とにかくそういう自分にばっかり都合のいい未来を一つ二つ数えていくの、心の中で。閉じたまぶたの暗闇に。そうすればね、いつの間にかすっと眠れる。怖い夢だって全然見ないよ。あ、信じてないって顔だな。いいよ。じゃあ証明してみせてあげよう。
I beckoned the boy over, saying, Kochi. When the boy and the koneko came closer, all three of us sat down flat on the floor. I gently placed my semi-transparent hand over the boy's. Our hands, unable to touch, overlapped, and a brief silence fell. The boy's hand held Taiga's power. If I prayed a little here, I could return to the Yoru right now. The boy's palm was the Kagi for that, but I won't do that just yet. But I would pray. It was a prayer to make my Sozoriku visible. True Taiga's power that connects the Yoru in the outside world. Soto no sekai. Soto no sekai? Anyway. And then a gentle glow. One light flickered on the control room ceiling. That light grew one by one, then two by two. Oh yeah. I never knew the word for outside world, but suddenly it came to my brain, and then I just googled it, and it is correct. I don't know how I figured that out. It's just like my brain just figured it out. The boy looked up at the ceiling. His eye was wide, blinking repeatedly. His profile seemed to say, Sugoi. It's like a Hoshisora. On the narrow ceiling, which all three of us looked up at, a faint Hoshisora, exactly as I had just imagined it, was depicted.
夜空の光は全部夢だよ。テレビもラジオも何もない。大昔の時代を生きてた人たちは、こうして見上げる星の空にいっぱいの夢を思い、描いていたんだろうと思う。だってほら、見てごらんよ。あれとあれを直線でつないだら、白鳥に見えないよね。うん、全然見えない。だけどさ、昔々の人たちには確かにそう見えたんだ。昔の人たちの想像力はすごいよね。 目に見えないものを見ようとする。その思いは星座と呼ばれ、時を超えて今の私たちにまで届いている。
It was like Maho. It was like the Haru no Ota. I to Yuki no Haru no Ota. With a raised smile, I pointed my index finger at the control room ceiling, at the Hoshi no Sara I had imagined.
だから私たちも昔々の人たちみたいに見上げた夜空の光を思うままにつないでいって、見えないものを形作るみたいにして自分勝手な夢を描いてみたっていいんじゃないかな。ほら見てよ、あれはきっとああしてこうしてつなげてみたら甘くて美味しいチョコレートだね。うん、間違いないよ。
And imagined Hoshisora. The Hoshi I pointed to quietly shifted, taking the shape of chocolate.
まぶたを閉じれば真っ暗だ。そこに誰だって自由に夢を描ける自分だけの星の空があるんだよ。
If I could count my own dreams by imagining them, like lighting up one by one, twinkling stars in the darkness. Kurayami.
これから先の未来には今夜あなたが思い描いた通りのキラキラの星が降る。そう思えれば今夜だけでも安心して眠れるようになるはずだよ。
Come on, close your eyes. Let's count your yume, I said. The boy stared intently at the Hoshisora on the ceiling. I'm worried if I can count my dreams properly. I saw those words on the boy's profile. Okasan wasn't in this town anymore. She left me. My yume didn't come true. I felt as if I saw those feelings in the boy's unsteady, wavering eyes. To that anxiety and sadness, I could have easily encouraged him with Daijobu. Easiness could sometimes become thoughtlessness. So, I had no choice but to speak of my ideal as if it were Kibo.
あなたのことを大切に思う人たちはいつもあなたの隣で祈ってる。夢を諦めてほしくないって。でも同じようにあなたのことを大切に思う人たちはいつもあなたの近くで願ってる。夢を諦めてほしいって。
Adults know, in this spiteful world, it's easier to live by giving up on dreams. Those who have lived even 1 year longer in this world earnestly, facing 1 more year's worth of difficulties from life. Adults always don't want their children to suffer the same hardships as them, so they preach to them the path of giving up is absolute, but certainly there might be no hardships. But there's no joy in it. A life without hardships, but also without joy. And a life with many hardships, but also many joys. Perhaps. Which one is right? Nobody knows that.
人それぞれに幸せだと数えたい夢の光景は違うだろうし。
Only those who couldn't do that always make scary faces and get angry, telling others to listen.
私はね、あなたのことを大切に思いたい人だから。だからね、私あなたには夢を諦めてほしくないんだよ。
Only after putting it into words, like that, did I realize my own feelings. Soka. I don't want this Kodomo to give up on his dreams. That's why I continue to stay by your side.
きっとそういう生き方は苦しいけれど問題の連続だろうけど、それでもそういう人生を選んだならいつかそれまで苦しかったことと同じくらい楽しいと思える時間に出会える。これからもしも私がこうしてあなたの隣にいられなくなってしまっても、いつもいつでも祈ってるよ。あなたが幸せに生きることができますようにって。あなたが夢を叶えるために いつも力を貸せるよう祈ってる。
Because you somehow really resemble me when I was little, when I still had life. I can't help but feel that way. I swallow those feelings without putting them into words.
うんうん。いやー、なんだか私、今とってもいいこと言ってない？どうかな？今の私、大人の女の人に見えちゃわない？
She showed a triumphant face. Then the boy closed his eyes, and through our glass hands I felt a faint voice in my heart, whispering, "My Yumes." The boy, the Koneko, and the translucent me will live together in the empty house we found today, just like a kazoku. The vision of the Mirai. The boy's new Atarashi no Yume appeared in the Kuroyami behind my eyelids.
そっか、
My cheeks relaxed.
そういう夢も、素敵だなって思うよ。
The boy would grow up and someday make many friends in the Soto no Sekai. In doing so, he'll probably find a lover, get married, and perhaps even have children. A Koneko who can't grow up can't become an adult, and I will always watch over them and live by their side. They'll be fine even without us. I think until I can think that, we'll stay in that house, the three of us together. Always. That was the Atarashi no Yume the boy envisioned.
賢い子猫に名前のない男の子。そしてあなたたち以外の誰にも見えない幽霊みたいな半透明の私。へんてこだけど、まるで家族みたいにして生きてはいけるかもしれないね。
The boy's Yume was no longer a Yume so much as a Nagai. Yeah. More than a Yume or Nagai, it felt like a Inori that couldn't be put into words. The name of that feeling was a loneliness too. I asked for a small chest to hold. Ah, Soyo. I suddenly thought, we without Yume or Kibo, our lives ended. Are we entrusting this child with all I couldn't accomplish with Kibo by fulfilling their wish? I also realized such selfish feelings of my own, or perhaps no those in the world. That's why I tried, time and again, to touch the boy's hand even though I couldn't.
わかった。それじゃあ明日からあの家が私たちのお家だね。
Your Yume. I, who could have fulfilled my own Yume long ago, will fulfill them all. I wish I could convey such feelings with a smile. Until then, will Taiga wait for me in the Yoru? I prayed that such anxiety could somehow be hidden. Again, the two of us looked up at the Yozora. The Hoshisora my heart envisioned. There I drew dreams, each one unique. All the unpleasant things in this world, the painful things, all the lonely things. I wish the whale in my dream would eat them all up. I just remembered that the Yorono is a whale, right? I suddenly felt as if I heard the boy's inner voice. Huh? Wasn't it a Baku, not a whale? That eats bad dreams? I wonder if my question reached him. The boy tilted his head in wonder. But that's right.
人生とは忘れることだ。辛いことも悲しいこともすべて忘れて眠ってしまおう。
For now, I'll put the lid on everything as if it never happened. Tonight, within the Yoru, I also prayed that something mysterious would eat all of your bad dreams without leaving a trace. Our objective had changed. Until yesterday, we sought the boys of Okasan. For today, we each search for things necessary for living. The boy, Koneko, and I. We split up and spent the entire day searching the town. We brought what we found to the Tokito's control room. Though semi-transparent, I can touch inanimate objects. You can't touch food for some reason. That's an inanimate object. It kind of it really breaks my. I'm like, why? You can touch inanimate objects except for food for some reason. Anyway.
注意して探してみたら結構いろいろと落ちてるものなんだね。びっくりだよ。
We scattered the collected items on the control room floor, and the three of us looked at them.
私が見つけてきたのはこれだね。
Several picture books that had been put out with the bulky trash, and one old, but still perfectly usable bag.
それにね、河原の草むらに落ちてたの。エッチな本。雨でふにゃふにゃになってるけれど大丈夫。大切なところはちゃんと読めるよ。
You're giving a kid erohon. Are you really giving a kid erohon? Or is it for yourself? What the fuck? She said, "Mite mite," and flipped through the pages to show it, but the boy quickly averted his gaze. At least he's a good boy. Nokoneko, held by the boy, gave me a disapproving stare. Stop it. He doesn't need something like that. I felt like I heard a voice say, all the women are dressed so lightly, they'll catch a cold.
そうかな。大人になったら絶対必要になるよ。間違いないよ。
What the hell is wrong with this? National man just showing a kid fucking head on, man. Well, that's why she ended up with the boy here she raised as ending up loving her. Jesus fucking Christ. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back.
だって男の子はね、どんなに可愛くてもかっこよくても心の中はみんな同じですごくエッチなんだって。
I wonder where she got that impression, Matt. But, you know, for some reason, okay, you guys couldn't see the 8 sheets, but for some reason, Taiga acts like the expert when he just gets it on with the route girl. So I'm like, yeah, he has some awareness of it for some reason. No, I'm sorry. Considering the last VN I read, considering the last VN I read, but the reason, at least the VN explained why he was experienced. I doubt it. They do it here, unless Taiga started reading the Erehon that Mashiro brought. What the hell's wrong with Mashiro, man? You're giving your kid some Erehon, man. It's said in some book that boys are just creatures like that, so it can't be helped. It can't be helped. That's so irresponsible.
自分じゃエッチな気持ちをどうにもできない。そういう生き物なかわいそうな男の子たちからエッチなものを取り上げちゃうのはね、とってもかわいそうなことなんだよ。だから取り上げるんじゃなくて逆にプレゼントするんだよ。そしたらさ、エッチな気持ちになるのはそんなに悪いことじゃないんだよってわかるでしょ？
I guess that's kind of base, but at the same time, we're talking about a little kid here, man.
だって男の子がエッチじゃないと誰も生まれてこれないわけだし。
Oh. The agenda. The agenda. Recipe Shinzo Abe. Get married and reproduce. This was 2019, so you know he was still alive during that time. Oh well. Get married and reproduce. I once read that child rearing should be done that way. I believe that's what's written in the books. And the books is He really needs life experience. Oh wait, she's already dead. Well, I mean, she could still gain it. Well, whatever she is, as a semi-translucent being. Exposing one's stomach so defenselessly like that is indecent and wrong. Nakaneko's sharp gaze seemed to say, "You are only supposed to show your stomach like that to the person you love." I can see why Kuro is like, she doesn't really like Mashiro a lot. I'm understanding a bit more. The person in this book are showing their stomachs everywhere. Are they all in heat? Oh, I see. So that's why it's called Erohon. The Koneko looks strangely convinced, glancing at the boy reading the pages. If it were a book of female cats in heat, he could look freely. Oh yeah, this fucking BN also has the furry agenda. If it wasn't a lolicon, if it wasn't the lolicon stuff, it also has the furry stuff. So now you have a lolicon furry. Never mind. You know what? Let's get going, man. What the fuck?
あと他に見つけられたのは全部一人じゃ運べなさそうなものだったよ。
We left large appliances like a television and an oven toaster at the bulky trash disposal area. I hope we can carry them home with the boy later. Finding this much in one day is pretty good, wouldn't you say? The next day, we split up again and searched for various things. I found a rusty shovel. A spade. Thanks. I'll come back to Kingdom Come Deliverance too. After this VN. And a child's bike with a flat tire. That was all. Unlike yesterday, I only had a report for the control room. The boy in the Koneko found a dead alarm clock, a calculator, and still clean scissors in a brush. Yoru. After the boy fell asleep, I thought to myself, day by day, the things I collected keep increasing. Looking at them, I wondered if this was really okay.
あなたたちと一緒に家族みたいにして生きていける？
It's probably impossible. That's how I feel. Because even I understand this world outside of the Yoru isn't gentle enough for children to live alone. And you shouldn't be with me. It's definitely dangerous. Malicious adults are after my light. The Kagi to the Yoru has already been unlocked because I've come to outside like this. Is that why? It's been a few days since I left the Yoru, but I don't feel any presence of adults at all. Still, that's no reason to let my guard down. I never forgot my caution towards that shadow. To live with someone like me, it's far too dangerous. Holding on to those anxieties and doubt, hazy in my mind, it was morning. With a boy who woke up with the Tayo, I headed out to the town again today, searching for something. It was hard to say anything at all. Today, what I managed to find were a few hangers for drying laundry.
子猫ちゃんが集めてきたのは、あ、またチョコレートだ。甘くないやつとちょっと苦いの。一つずつだね。それに美味しそうな飴玉が少しと。
Casually, I dangled my hand towards the chocolate and canned ame. My eyes wanting something sweet. Amai must have been sparkling, and I was probably drooling. The Koneko swiftly snatched the chocolate and candies from a hand with its mouth and tail, protecting them. These are mine, not yours. It felt like it was saying that.
別にいいじゃん。私食べられないんだし、ただ触るくらい。
Okay, so she can touch food, but only her hands can touch food, I guess. But trying to put it in her mouth, it goes through like a ghost. Okay, that's the mechanic. Okay, got it. As I said that, I tilted my head.
あれ？おかしいよね。命のないものなら触れられる私なのに、どうしてお菓子とか食べ物は触れられるのに食べることはできないのかな。
I fucking hate the author, man. He knew that this was a thing. It's kind of mysterious, Fushigi. It was so Fushigi, so it almost made me feel hungry.
あと子猫ちゃんが集めてくれたのはお金、小銭ばかりで123。あーすごい、1000円くらいあるよ。
The Koneko proudly twitched its tiny nose.
そういえば今夜町の商店街でお祭りがあるらしいね。3人で行ってみない？ 1000 円あればいろいろ買えるよ。かき氷とかりんご飴とかチョコバナナとか。
I imagined those sweet and delicious looking treats.
いいなあ、想像しただけでうっとりしちゃうよ。
I let out a sweet sigh, wondering if I could somehow eat some too.
それにほら、もしかしたらお祭りにあなたのお母さんも来てるかもしれないよ。ポスターを見たら結構大きなお祭りみたい。街中の人たちが集まるみたいだから、誰かを探すならぴったりだよね。
The boy looked at me. His gaze said, I told you it was fine already.
うん。
I know. You gave up on one dream and imagined a new one, didn't you?
確かにあなたのお家はもう空っぽだったけど、でもあなたのお母さんがこの町から出て行っちゃったっていう証拠を見つけられたわけでもないし、もしかしたら町の中にある別の家に越しちゃっただけかもしれない。諦めるにはまだまだ早いよ。
But the boy shook his head. Then he placed his hand over my translucent one. It's really fine already. I felt like I heard the boy's unspoken feelings with my heart. If I search and search and still can't find her, it will be sad. Even if I do find her, I don't know what I'd do. I broke Okasan's rules and came here. I know she wouldn't be happy about that. She might even get angry, asking why I couldn't wait until she came to pick me up. Why couldn't I follow her instructions? Your Okasan hates you. If she were to throw words like that at him, if that happened, I'd be even more sad. The boy looked down. I felt that what if it was just like a bad dream?
昨日の夜、私に教えてくれたよね。あなたの新しい夢について。
And the boy's unspoken feelings that flowed into me from our joined hands weren't just my boso.
あなたたちと一緒に3人で家族みたいに暮らしていくことも素敵だなって思う。本当だよ。そんなのはまるで夢みたいだなって。
Indeed, that's a wonderful future vision, I think. So I spent the day walking around town, looking for things we'd need to live as tree. That's right. It would be truly wonderful if that yume came true.
そこに大河がいてくれたなら、もっともっと素敵だっただろうなって感じるよ。
If it had been the four of us instead of tree, I surely would have nodded. But that won't happen, no matter how much I wish or pray.
だから私も 私の新しい夢について考えてみたよ。
I asked the boy, who tilted his head, "Will you listen to me about my Atarashi no Yume?" and tilted my own head slightly in response.
私の夢はね。
I hesitated a little. To talk about my Yume. It's an act that can feel very embarrassing, but I gathered Mayuki and opened my mouth.
私の夢。それは本屋さんを作ることだよ。
To the boy who tilted his head again, I hear him say,
人は死んだら
her say,
夜空の星になったりもする。夜空の光は命の光だ。
That's how this world and the Yoru currently came to be, though.
死んだ人間の命は
True.
一冊の本になる。
And on the shelves of that bookstore, as vast as the Hoshisora, the light of life, the books of life all fit. I want to rewrite this world in that way.
その本屋は人生の記録だ。
A place where I can always touch with my heart, the neatly lined up stories of nameless heroes. Like the terminal station of time, it's a destination where all finite lives arrive.
あなたはどのように生きたのか。
As if to ask that question, I opened the page. Surely everyone is born holding different kinds of team within their life. That's why life itself, depending on how one lives, can give someone true courage. It should be able to become a magnificent work of art.
夜の生き物たちはね、誰もがそういう風に子供みたいに夢見てる。
That's why it's a hunt. I want to give form to the lives that living beings desperately live in that way.
どうして人の思いは目に見えないんだろう。
I always thought that.
言葉だけでは決して伝えきれない思いを伝えるにはどうしたらいいんだろう。
I was always searching for that method.
決して上手に何かを作り出せるわけではないけれど、それでもだからこそ勇気を持って懸命に生き抜いた名もなき人たちがいる。そういう人たちはどういう風にして目には見えず言葉だけでは十分ではない思いを、それを必要としている大切な人に伝えればいいんだろう。深く悲しんでいる大切な人に勇気を出してと励ませるだろう。何も特別なものを持たない者のためにこそ、そのための方法を夜の中に残したい。
That's why I want to leave behind the feelings that are absolutely invisible as tangible books. Telling stories and listening to them, it seems she was good at them in her previous life.
そういう成り立ちをこの世界の中で新しい夢として私は思い描きたい。
A special bookstore. I want to imagine at the furthest reaches of time. On those shelves, the book of life are stored, eagerly awaiting the moment their own stories are read, continuing to dream a long, quiet, happy dream. Someday, when someone with a life described in that book, someone with similar sadness or loneliness opens the page as if drawn to it.
そこに記された物語に触れ、いっぱいの思いに触れて、読み手と語り手、互いの夢や願いが共感し合うようなことがあったなら。
The textual feelings will become a translucent form, visible only to that person, reappearing from the book to the outside world. It will gently draw close to that person, sad, lonely, feeling life unbearably painful, suffering from feelings just like their own. And I will continue to pray. May all of your life's wishes be happily fulfilled, and continue to lend my strength. Such an existence. As if even a special maho, unique to the two of us, would sprout between our joined hands. I want to create that kind of unique relationship.
そうしてそこに集められてくるいっぱいの光に、命の物語に私は触れたい。
Unread by anyone, unseen by anyone, unheard by anyone. they could only disappear without anyone ever knowing them. The stories of nameless people. It's necessary for someone to read and someone to know the feelings carved there. The world probably only comes into existence when it's observed by someone. I believe human feelings are the same. Anyway. The boy stared at me. I say, ごめん.
ちょっと自分語りしすぎちゃったね。話長くなっちゃってごめん。
To the boy who shook his head, I softly said arigato and added a few more words.
あの子が不思議な夜を思い描いて現実にしてしまったというのなら、私はこの世界にそういう時間を作りたい。
Everyone lives as if writing their own story. Every single second of the time given, every choice is the act of writing one's own life.
たとえその命が終わってしまっても、思いだけはいつまでも大切な人の隣に寄り添うものであってほしい。
Even if that is in a translucent form, visible only to that person. If it's in that form, even if it seems like no one is nearby, if I can understand that I'm never truly alone, I should somehow be able to live on in this wonderful yet malicious world, like a three-legged race, combining forces with unseen feelings. I said that was my Atarashi no Yume. Many people would probably laugh at a dream as impossible to achieve. To begin with, it's a dream that's still too vague even to myself. I don't even know how to make it come true. Even if people are dumbfounded and ask, what is that? I probably wouldn't be able to say anything back.
でも私は諦めないよ。きっとこの夢を叶えてみせる。だから今こうして隣にいるあなたの夢も絶対叶えてみせる。そのために精一杯力を貸すよ。
I'll make any maho, or rather even a kiseki happen.
だからね、お願い。諦めずにお母さんを探そうよ。この町にいないのなら町の外にでも手がかりをどうにか見つけて探しに行こうよ。あなたが夢を叶えられたら私も安心して夜に帰れるしね。
She said that with a wry smile.
あなたには子猫ちゃんがついてるんだもん。お母さんがいるんだもん。だから私がいなくたってもちろん平気だよね。
The boy remained silent. Did my feelings get true to him? Shojiki, I can't quite put my own feelings into words either. Even as I've been mulling it over like this, I haven't actually come across a single word that precisely hits the mark. I just wanted the boy to look forward. I wanted him to have Yuki. If he gives up now, he might regret it years later. That's what I felt. That regret would surely gnaw at his grown heart. That was all. And yet, all I wanted was to convey just that feeling. The boy, as if closing his heart even deeper, merely nodded at my words. The three of us came to the Omatsuri. The boy walked quietly beside me, his gaze fixed on his feet, still clutching the koneko tightly. The town was brilliantly decorated, like the surface of a quiet lakeside reflecting the countless stars twinkling in the yozora. However, there were far too many people. A large fireworks display was due in minutes, drawing people from the town, Nippon, and abroad. Many Gaikokujin were seen. In an instant, we were swallowed by the crowd. If we stayed like this, we would get separated. We couldn't even walk hand in hand. We didn't even have enough pocket money to buy anything from the stalls.
結局またここに来ちゃったね。
Jostled and squeezed on the packed street, spat out by the human tide, we arrived at our usual resting spot, the koen. The koen at Yoru was quiet. The Yoru no Sakura, illuminated by the lights, had each of their petals reflecting a faint artificial glow, like tiny decorations. Here and there, I could see couples and families. Everyone was wearing beautiful yukata. I wonder if they'll watch the hanabi from here. This was a hidden gem of a spot for that purpose. It felt like only the locals who knew about it were quietly gathering here like this. Perhaps the boys Okasan would come here too. The boy stood beside me, not even smiling, gazing at the sparkling townscape. Even when I tried talking to him, he just blinked repeatedly. He didn't even nod anymore. Just when I thought I finally started to hear a little of the boy's feelings, his invisible voice. Now, even if I gently placed my head over his, I couldn't discern his feelings anymore. But it's okay. I just knew it, without any real reason. If I could find Okasan should surely smile again, just like before. It had to be true. That had to be true, right? I prayed, though I didn't know to whom. The Ozara bloom. Hanabi. With the first big shot as signal, colorful hanabi of all sizes and shapes launched one after another.
すごい。綺麗だね。
Words like a sigh spilled from her lips.
私がまだ生きていた頃は、こんな風にいっぱい花火を打ち上げるような大きなお祭りはなかったんだけどな。
We watched the hanabi together. Their light was so vivid, so dazzling, it even obscured the twinkling of the hoshi in the yozara. There were bursting sounds, so many of them. Every time a dazzling flower of light shot up, cheers echoed, and within those cheers, I definitely heard it. The colorful hues that launched into the yozara. The people gathered in the hoen looked up quietly. Within the sudden cheers that rose every time, dazzling colors bloomed in the yozara. I had definitely found the takaramono I had been searching for. Takaramono. I had muttered that without thinking. The girl Kuro's story too broke off there once again. The takaramono you found was... I asked that, then stopped. Because it seemed obvious even without being told. Instead, I decided to ask another question. Na, Kuro.
何？タイガ。
You've been talking without the break. Aren't you getting tired? Maybe put the phone down and we can continue tomorrow. It wasn't that I was afraid to hear the rest of the story, making an excuse to cut it short. Yeah, I was genuinely concerned about the person in the phone, Nakai, because it was turning into a very long story.
大丈夫。
Daijobu, but that's what Kuro said.
もう少しでこのお話も終わるよ。だから平気。
Soka. Owari soon then.
そう。そしてそこからようやく私たちのお話になる。
She was like, that story? Don't really actually give a damn, but I want to give a preface for our story. When asked if I was okay, I replied that I was fine. Well, I do have work tomorrow. It's always the same, but I usually have to wake up earlier than the sun. I'm still a low-ranking new teacher. I must clean the stat room before other teachers arrive. Preparing tea and snacks is a new teacher's task, so I must wake up early. The absolute state of, like, the newest member in the office. That is many such cases in some places in the world. Being a teacher is tough. There's a lot to do for such low pay. Oh man, yeah, I heard it's really low. It's so low, man. I often have to bring work home too. Why did I even decide to do this job? Lately, I've been losing track. There's a lot I can't do well. I probably just aren't suited for this job. I feel that way, but when I ask myself if there was anything I was more suited for than my current job, I naturally didn't get a clear answer. Gomen, for spelling out weird complaints. Instead of the words, it's fine, there was only a faint chime of a bell. Well, yeah, I certainly do have work early tomorrow, but I hate this is hitting me right now. I should probably also get some sleep soon. And this conversation goes on, it'll be tough. I won't wake early tomorrow. It should be, but I feel like I don't care. If you say it's ending soon, then I'll listen to the very end. Tomorrow, I'm skipping work. I wish I could do that, but I'm going on vacation starting next week. So I have a lot of things I can't skip out tomorrow for this week. No, it was the job I wasn't suited for. Maybe I'll quit today. I have no regrets. The workplace won't be trouble without me. In the end, I felt like this job left me with nothing. With such low pay, I couldn't save enough to buy peace of mind, nor did I feel like I gained invaluable experience in return. Makes me wonder what happened to the taiga at the end of after Haru's route's ending, because he becomes a teacher, right? Does he end up feeling like, man, this is so frustrating to become a teacher, man? I thought I had the dream, when I helped out young Haru, I thought about helping out kids and all that, but the reality is so shit. And if I could feel the presence of irreplaceable comrades there, that wasn't the case either. What's more, I don't particularly like children or the act of teaching people anything. I truly feel that I wasn't suited for it after all. So you said the story would end soon, but even if it gets longer, even if it continues all night, it's fine. For tomorrow, I'll be quite free. I said, feeling somewhat refreshed. Please, tell me the rest of the story. Saying I understand, wakatta, Kuro continued her story. Each slowly spun word slipped into my heart. With that sensation, I closed my eyelids again. Wait, I'll be right back. I want to grab some water. Or some ocha. Maybe ocha's good. I'll be back. But the work tomorrow. Well, the story's ending, right? And then what they mean by the story ending is 2 to 3, 4 hours. I'm like, yeah, I should have seen that coming. But we'll see. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm back. Did I accidentally click? Because I don't remember this line when I took a break. Oh, yeah, maybe I did. Let me reread then. Let's start from here. Saying I understand, Kuro continued her story. Each slowly spun word slipped into my heart. With that sensation, I closed my eyelids again. Okay, I remember that. So, okay, that really is the line. It was my okasan. The Takaramono I have been searching for. I know the boy's face, having touched his heart. It was a park. A hidden spot for Hanabi. Among the yukata-clad people, I found her.
よかった。やっぱりまだこの町にいたんだ。
Man, the mistakes, man, the mistakes. We were talking about her mom, his mom. I had no basis for it, not a shred, but I probably felt that was the case. The boy's oyako, Okasan, was looking up at the Hanabi near the observation deck's railing, a fan in her hand smiling. I'd be so happy she could share that smile with the boy too. Maybe the boy will smile again now. Leaving my side, he can return to the side of the person he truly belongs with. That means it's also time to say sayonara to the boy. I felt a little lonely, but more than that, I also felt that this was for the best. Bringing the boy to his okasan's side. My role ends here. The boy still hadn't realized. He remained gazing vaguely at the Hanabi. Just like his okasan and her yukata, the two of them were gazing up at the glittering yozora from a slightly distant spot. The distance between them was only a few meters. Watashi? I stood from the bench. No. What should I do? Right before my eyes was the Okasan's smile I've been searching for. A small back, unaware of it, was visible nearby. My chest throbbed, aching with loneliness. Good. Neither of them had realized yet. Just stay like that, please. Don't realize,
行こ
I said to the boy.
う。帰ろう。私たちのお家に。
Oh man, Mashiro, really? You're doing this? You're gonna deny deny the kid, meaning his mom. I mean, of course we have bigger context about things, but from in their context, it's the boy turned to me.
約束したよね。あなたの夢、私が全部叶えるよって。だから帰ろう。
The Takaramano wasn't found, so let's make our own.
一緒に帰ろう。これからずっと私たち3人で一緒に暮らしていこうね。ごめんね。あなたの言う通りだった。この町にはもうあなたのお母さんはいない。これだけ探したんだもん。きっとそうだよね。
Man, she really... Okay. I could tell it's an expression of confusion, but I can't respond to that gaze. If I could touch him, I would take his hand and run away from this place right now, but... This is no good. Dameda. It was too late. Osoi. Zenbu. The boy had realized. At the end of his frozen gaze, it was his Okasan. The person the boy had been waiting for was there. Amidst the crowd had grown without me noticing. She continued to look up at the Hikari at the Yozora, seemingly dazzled. The boy's expression as he squinted seemed to say Okasan. Step by step, the boy walked forward. I tried to grab the boy's hand, but I couldn't. I couldn't touch him. The boy's pace gradually quickened.
お願い、帰ろう。私たち3人でこれからもずっと一緒に暮らそう。
But the boy continued forward, as if shaking me off.
ダメ。
I cried out,
お願い、
chasing after him.
話を聞いて。
I was desperate. My hands tried to hold him back, passed right through the boy's arms, shoulders, back, and every single time.
もう夜に帰るだなんて言わない。ずっとあなたのそばにいるから。だからお願い。
Kanaide. My voice, desperately screaming and chasing after him, probably didn't reach the boy. His Okasan might have felt a gaze, or perhaps a presence. She suddenly looked back this way. Their eyes met. The Okasan looked surprised. The boy was trembling. His small fist was tightly clenched. Trembling, he cautiously opened his mouth. He must have wanted to say Okasan. He must have wanted to convey, Okasan, I came to see you. He expected to be scolded just a little, and he hoped he'd be praised with welcome, even just a little. But the boy closed his mouth because Okasan suddenly averted her gaze from it. Damn, man! Because at the end of her gaze, there was an unfamiliar girl. That girl was next to Okasan, looking up the Yozora, dazzled. One hand clutched a sweet-looking cotton candy. The other hand was holding Okasan's. The boy hesitated, unsure what to do. But he believed Okasan would surely understand. And weakly he reached his hand forward. Onegai, I want to hold hands like that too. Then he tried to take another step forward. But it was no use. Not a single fragment of his feelings reached her. Okasan told the girl holding her hand, it's about time we go. The girl, nodding with a smile, suddenly noticed the boy. Hey, Mama, who's that kid? He's watching us. The girl asked, "Is that someone you know, Okasa?" Oh man, this is a classic. Oh man, fuck. This is a fucking classic, man. I recently watched I forgot the name of that show, man. It was recent, but there was a similar scene. Anyway. Okasa looked at him one more time, and then a silence fell. She stared at the boy, just stared. She narrowed her eyes slightly and said, I don't know that child. Perhaps they're lost. With a smile, Okasa, then holding hands with the unfamiliar girl, walked right past the frozen boy. Damn, man. We were left behind. The boy let the koneko he was holding close to his chest slip from his arms. The koneko landed skillfully, looking up at the boy's feet with a worried gaze. I, who can only stand by the boy's side, unable to do anything else. What should I do? I don't understand. I didn't understand anything. Before I knew it, the hanabi had ended. Only we were left in the koen. No one else remained. Even the streetlights had gone out. Only the moonlight quietly illuminated our surroundings. The boy didn't move an inch. He stood frozen, his small shoulders heaving with each deep, heavy breath. It's my fault. Everything, all of it, is my fault. You said you would give up on your Yume. Perhaps deep down I had sensed that this would happen at some point. Was it when I saw the empty house? Or perhaps I had vaguely sensed it in some intangible way, not tied to anything specific. And yet I forcefully dragged you around, telling you, don't give up. With this as the result, it was all my fault. The boy didn't cry. He just stood there, frozen. It would have been better if he had cried loudly. Crying, screaming. It would have been far better if he had thrown a full-blown tantrum. Only I am crying. From the boy's clasped hands, a flood of sadness and loneliness flowed into me. When people are truly sad, they can't even cry. Their tears dry up in an instant. I've seen words like that on a page I've opened once. Now, for the first time, I was seeing someone who was truly grieving. Even so, I am semi-transparent. I can't even embrace you, crying without words or tears. You were just like me, true and true. Jesus Christ. The three of us returned to the Tokito's control room. After that, a little while later, the boys started to trudge along, and somehow managed to come with. I thought he wouldn't listen to anything I said anymore, and that it couldn't be helped even if that happened. I thought that, but I said it countless times. As I murmured that, my chest ached again with fullness of loneliness. Left behind in the dark, cold basement, I, who couldn't live up to the expectations of the two of them. I was made as if I never existed. They had kidnapped a cute child from somewhere to replace me. I didn't know the full story or the circumstances, but I couldn't help but see myself in the boy. The boy is Okasan, the girl next to her. That child is the boy's replacement. Just like me, the boy was made as if he never existed. Under the table, the boy was holding a koneko, his eyelids closed. I hope this isn't a bad dream. I simply prayed it so. I wish it would. Yeah. I stared intently at my semi-transparent hands. I was forcing my own Yume on you.
なの。まるで。
It's like I'm nothing. It's like I'm nothing more than a vengeful spirit clinging to him, making him fulfill the lingering regrets I couldn't let go of.
そうだ。私は悪夢だ。
I want to help this kid. I want to let him see his Okasan. I'll make my son's dream come true. But it was different. The one who truly longed for the Okasan wasn't the boy. It was me. I'm the evil one.
私、あなたに自分の希望を押し付けているだけだったんだ。
I don't know what kind of fate it is, but I was able to meet this boy who is somehow similar to me.
あなたがお母さんに優しくされるということは、私もお母さんに優しくされるのと同じことだと。
By repeating those whispers, I re-recognized my own evilness. Even though the boy pleaded, that's enough. I didn't allow it. It's the same. I'll lock the boy in a dungeon. Selfishness makes those around you unhappy. I am no different from those adults who stirred up anxiety with such empty words and tried to make others obey them. Not in the slightest. That's why I'm evil. As for the unconscious evil, there is no evil as bad as the evil that believes itself to be righteous.
あなたに夢を諦めないでと語った星空の話、そして私の思い描いた新しい夢の話、すべてが邪悪だ。
With words that were only beautiful in appearance, I forcefully pulled his hand. I heard one pure heart. What was in those words was nothing but childishness, complete ignorance of reality. It was. I just wanted to be intoxicated by my own pretty words. It felt like nothing more than a string of empty words, less than nonsense now.
ごめん。
Even if I apologized, it's not enough. At the very least, I thought about what I could do for this child. For this child whom I hurt by imposing my selfish thoughts. What I can do now. 考える。
私は
For me, the only path left was this.
たった一人のあなたを救うため、大勢の命を犠牲にするのか、それとも大勢の名前も知らない誰かを救うため、大切な人を犠牲にするのか。
It was like a spell. It was a blink, lasting but an instant. Fluffy and fluttering. Into a Mashiro dress I returned. This is the manifestation of resolve. To fulfill someone else's expectation apart from my own. Even by people who treat me harshly, I want to be loved. I tell myself that such loneliness no longer exists anywhere. Taiga. Gomen.
せっかくあなたが私を夜から外へ逃がしてくれたのに、私に希望をくれたのに。
Gomen. Maybe we'll never see each other again. For someone as wicked as me, to be happy with you. I surely don't have the right to live that way.
タイガー、この選択はあなたたちの言う愛とか勇気とか、せめてそういう何かにはなれるかな。
From now on, I decide to kidnap this boy with no name.
「そして真白は全人類の敵、夜の女王になることを決意した。
By the way, this story has really likes the parallel like storytelling, like the whole thing about like Mashiro deciding to be like that really reminded me about the time when the timeline with Haru where Taiga decides to kidnap Haru. I'm pretty sure there's also like a similar parallel with like the previous scene as well. the story really likes to, it delivers a story and then later on it repeats in a different way. Anyway. Huh?
大人たちの期待を満たすためじゃない。ただ、たった一人の男の子を悲しみの底から救い出す。
From
そのた
all
めに。
from all over the world, and from everyone she held dear, she would be hated, shunned, and feared, because that was the greatest prize she, who feared being hated more than anything, had set for herself. What happened after that? Kuro says she doesn't know much, because Kuro was always by the boy's side. Therefore, she recounted and told me bit by bit the events within the scope of what she knew, summarizing the key points.
真白はあの子をさらうことにした。
She herself called the town police and said, I've kidnapped a boy. If you want him back safely.
そこで真白は電話を切った。時計塔の管理室に自分たちはいる。
Wait,
最
so
初にそれだけは伝えて。
wait, so she can, of course we know her, we already know she can interact with inanimate objects. But I thought, well, okay, fine. Maybe her sound waves could interact with the phone. You know what, I don't get it anymore. Let's not think about it too much. In the blink of an eye, people gathered. I peered outside from the control room window. This was on the school grounds, on the schoolyard. I could see various adults who have heard the news from who knows where, gathered and looking up at us.
真白は集まった人たちに向けて叫んだ。全人類に告ぐと。
Tonight, come to this town, to this very spot, bring the treasure most precious to you.
その宝物と子供の命を交換だ。真白は時計塔の小窓から地上に集まった人たちへそんな風に思い切り叫んだ。
If the Takaramono matched the child's life, the boy would be freed. To gain, you must offer. That was the rule. That's what she shouted.
自分を夜の女王と名乗る小さな女の子が同じく小さな男の子を誘拐し、具体的ではない何かを要求している。大声で。
That footage was broadcast worldwide. As the dial rises, someone arrives clutching a Takaramono in her hand. The boy's Okasan. My Takaramono is the maternity passbook from when she gave birth to our little boy. Okasan said she was filled with regret. I'll never let a child go again, I said through my tears.
真白は
The Yorono Jo'o refused to acknowledge that Takaramono. I tossed it out the window. It wasn't a Takaramono, it was a boy.
これは報いだ。あなたが本当の宝物を大切にしないからこうなる。真白はそう言い、微笑んだ。
What echoed through the Yoru was the sound of a little boy being slammed against the hard ground. A gut-wrenching scream from my Okasan, like something tearing her chest apart.
夜に帰った真白は、そんな悪夢をこの町の大人たちに、いや、世界中の大人たちに同時に見せた。
You never realize how important something is until you've lost it. I hurled those well-worn words at every Okasa in the world, and the ones I abducted weren't just boys. Mashiro snatched the children of the town, or perhaps the entire world, into the Yoru. The strange girl calling herself the Yoru no Jo'o is hurling her own children out of the clock tower's window. Mothers all over the world, fathers too, have woken from that akumu, those with love in their hearts and those without.
真白は男の子のお母さんに思い出してほしかった。
No, not just the boy's mother, but the grown-ups who have lost their hearts. To those who will become like that, I just wish she'd remember how to be kind to the ones she loved. No matter how much adults crack their own hearts without realizing it, all because of the Noroi, I know it. I'm sure of it.
自分の子が一番の危険にあるときは、どんな母親でも思い出してくれるはず。
What in the world is the most important thing of all? What is the one true treasure? I'm sure she'll remember it here in this Akumu. That's what Okasan is. Someone who drop everything and race to their child's side no matter the cost.
母親とはそういう生き物であってほしいから。だからきっとこの悪夢から目覚めたら男の子のお母さんはここに駆けつけてきてくれるはず。
I believe that. Even now, Mashiro couldn't let go of that hope, Kibo. I'm forcing my expectations and ideals onto someone again. But
世界中の大人たちが母親がその思いを思い出してくれるなら、再認識してくれるのなら、
I'll gladly become the ultimate Akumu herself.
そういう風に生きることが真白の
I Toyuki no Ota, that only Mashiro could sing, as if.
そんな風になれますようにと真白は祈った。こうして固めた自分の覚悟がほんの少しの勇気が男の子へのごめんねになりますようにと必死に祈っていた。
The next morning,
男の子が夜の外で目を覚ました時、もう真白はどこにもいなかった。
instead, his Okasan was there with a tear-streaked face. I was hugged. She told me "gomenasai" many times. She said she had a bad dream, a truly, truly bad dream. It was an Akumu, just like reality. Seeing that, I remembered the day you were born. The beloved feelings I must have felt then. Why had I forgotten them until now? To my Okasan, who said, "From now on, I'll cherish you so much for all the time we lost." I promised and smiled at me. To my Okasan, who had finally come to pick me up, firmly holding my hand. Having seen a similar Akumu and watched over by many people gathered in the schoolyard, the boy returned to his new home. Okay, so how do we get from there to Soka? Mid-story, I said, as if to acknowledge. The boy was able to return his Okasan, thanks to Mashiro. And then, the boy lived happily ever after. The end. That, of course.
ならない。
You're right. If it were a story that ended happily, there'd be no reason for me, an unrelated party, to be told it like this. The story the boy left behind, contrary to Mashiro's wishes, couldn't end happily. Yeah. It's probably still, even now, very much in progress. That story isn't over. That's why you. Because you must have called me, clinging to someone like me. Because you must have been able to ask for help, only for someone like me.
あの子は
Hmm?
あの子はお母さんの元には帰れなかった。
Kuro
お
asked.
母さんは男の子に優しくしてくれた。これまでのことを何度も謝り、いっぱい抱きしめ、繋いだ手をギュッとして、これからはあなたのことも大切にしていくと約束をしてくれた。何度も何度も繰り返し言って男の子にいっぱいの安心をくれたんだ。
But soon I was returned to the dungeon I'd come from. It wasn't that Okasan betrayed me. The cruel adults whose heart had been twisted captured Okasan along with me. Oh man, that is so messed up, bro. Christ. My Okasan was forbidden from ever seeing me again. Our families bound by countless unreasonable rules. Born without talent into a special family, my light was bait to lure out a Kaibutsu to gain eternal light. That's why I had no name, just consumable. A child with no place anywhere in the outside world. Where is the Yoru no Jo'o? The scary adults asked me in the dungeon. I shook my head and answered, I don't know. Then Okasan was erased right before my eyes. Oh, shit, man. In a truly horrible way. She must never see the boy again. By breaking that rule, it was going to happen anyway. The scary adults said so without even a smile. Where is the Yoru no Jo'o? I was asked the same thing again. I desperately shook my head. I don't know, really. If I knew, I'd want to go see her too right now. But there was no way the adults would be satisfied with that or forgive me. Every time I shook my head saying, I don't know, shiranai, one person after another was erased. Like everyone was being killed each time in the dungeon. Oh, man. Where is the Yorodojo? I was asked again and again, like a machine. But we don't erase her. The scheme, the Yozora, will continue to break people's hearts forever. I didn't understand what they were talking about. So all I could do was shake my head again. It's my fault. I clutched my head. Just because I thought I wanted to see Okasan. It was because I kept thinking only such selfish thoughts. Because of that, many people and countless others are becoming unhappy. I'm surprised Kuro is still surviving this one, man. I don't know how she's able to survive this one. I would have thought that the adults would have taken the cat and tried to kill her, considering he's been... Anyway. After night fell, the adults left the dungeon and then hugged my hidden self. Okay, so I'm guessing Kuro just hid herself or something and then goes back to him. From those arms, I felt as if I heard the voice of a heart that shouldn't have been audible. That's my fault. It's my fault I was born. I wish I hadn't existed. Someone like me. It wasn't just Okasan who was erased before my eyes. The translucent people who had once been my Taiga's side was also, one after another, erased before the boys. Before the boy, the adult said. Oh, so, okay, it's not, huh? Which translucent people? Because wasn't Nana-chan, Toya, the old Toya, the adult Toya and the young Toya and Asai-san, and what? Well, technically this is the future, but I don't know, man. Maybe they're just representations and they were voice acted by the same voice actors as their sprite. But I have no idea. You know what? I don't know anymore. Tell us. The Yoro no Jo'o's location. Don't say you don't know. Hiding her is useless. We know the Yoro no Jo'o was always by your side. Tell us the truth. No lies, no silence. Otherwise, we'll erase even more those unrelated to you with this Tokubetsu Kenju and Dangan.
大丈夫。気にするな。こんなのは当然君のせいじゃない。だけど、せめてこっちを見ないようにしろ。
I wonder if this is literally Asai-san or just someone, Asai-san's voice actress is representing using her sprite. Because I feel as if that this is literally Asai-san, man. So she said, Done-san smiling gently. Her Imoto-like girl with black hair. A slender man with long hair tied back. Bro, this was literally one of you. This was literally one of the anyway. A small child clad in pitch black conductor's uniform. Wait, that literally is them, that means. Every time the boy shook his head, adults erased the translucent night people. Why? I cried, silently pleading. Oh shit. So in a later timeline, they actually die? Huh? Remember, this is in the future, right? This is way beyond the present timeline of most of where this where the common route happens, right? So this is the future, and then are you saying they die? Nana-chan dies, Asai-san and Toya and the other Toya? Oh my god. To you, Taiga was special, wasn't he? Adults know everything about children. Don't think you can keep secrets. So, Taiga, who was special to you? Those he had held special are hostages. If you don't listen to us, you already know what will happen, don't you? It was despair. For a young heart, it was the ultimate despair. The adult said, Tell us the Yoro no Jo'o's location. Eraser or humanity has no future. That's how it should be, right? If Mashiro is erased, the Yozora's key won't erode hearts. Both worlds will be saved. I'm rewriting the premise. But it's no good. No one knows the location of humanity's enemy, the Yoro no Jo'o. She had vanished without a trace. Everyone hated her, even within the Yoru. even outside the Yoru, as long as the Yoru no Kuni exists, even in future time, even in past time.
その根拠のない憎悪こそ彼女の魔法の対象だとはやはり誰も知らない。
Hated by those I wanted to protect, shunned. For the first time, Mashiro's wish comes true, to save both the Yoru no Sakai and Yoru no Soto. Such was her wish. Is this the result? The scene of the Mirai. Because of me, many became those who would never return and left.
男の子はそういう未来を書き換えたいから。
Originally, this time should have been when Taiga and Mashiro's love story began. It should have been a time strewn only with such despair. Yet the two who should have been here are gone. They died because of me. Their lives were stolen. Instead, there's just a mob like me, with no abilities, unloved by anyone, not even a name. No, this kind of present shouldn't exist.
何かが間違えているんだと男の子は強く信じた。
This kind of Mirai no Sekai shouldn't exist. Mistakes must be
だ
corrected.
からあの子は私と一緒に真白と奏で大河を救うため目の前で消されていったお母さんと半透明の人たちを救うために
And that
とても長い夜の旅へと踏み出した。
and the child vanished from this world.
私のこと一人ぼっちにしたままであの子はどこかへ消えてしまったの。お願い。
Her damp voice reached my heart.
どうかお願い。
Well, we finally have a Kuro thumbnail, huh?
私たちのヒーロー奏で大があの子のことを助けてください。
Wait, I have a feeling this is a good point for me to go. Yeah, I think this is the way. I have to go now. I still have to work tomorrow. I still have to work. I just need to work for this week. Well, by Saturday, I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish the entire VN. But like, I have things to do. I really want to keep reading, but oh man. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Ciao.
「色鮮やかに描くよ」 視線がぶつかるたびに近づくことを数えた初めて触れた方の震えが今も心まで染め上げて全てを変えてゆく繰り返す時を幾千も夜を永遠に過ごすこの先もずっと冬の名残払う風は汚れのない想い乗せて飛んでゆく春空舞う思い出は過ぎ去った奇跡じゃなく明日へ踏み出す背中をそっと押す昨日から届く贈り物だよ春風吹くこの場所で新しい舞台の上重ねた手と手をもう二度と離さずに二人で今歩き出そう終わらない物語を